Hello, gamers and movie lovers. It is me and V, and I'm going to adjust the camera so that we're both pretty center and frame.
Lighting is sad.
What about it is that?
I don't know.
It's the normal lighting. So yeah, we are here. We're queer. The Beatles video is basically done. I need to add some B-roll, tighten up some sections, finish editing one specific part, and that's basically it. It's gonna be
Gotta
great.
gotta edit the music video.
Spoilers! That was a avoiding thing.
Okay, the one person that's here will be spoiled.
I don't know if that even is one person. Oftentimes Twitch will pop up that one person is there. I think it's so that you're not waiting around for one
It's
person.
yeah, totally somebody's watching for sure.
I'm being watched right now, Copia. So yeah, we're here today as a sort of teaser. We're doing two things today. One, we're doing essentially a teaser to the Beatles video, where we're ranking all of the movies that I/we saw. You didn't see all of them. In a tier list. This gives away some of my opinions, but also I'm not going to give away all
Also,
of my fun
people who
thoughts.
are willing to watch this stream
Yeah,
are gonna also still watch your video.
that's true. Yeah. So yeah, let's. Then the second thing we're doing is we're basically doing the same thing for found footage movies that we've watched because we've watched like 18 of them. Most of them in like the last 3 months or so.
Gotta have a hobby.
Yeah. All right, let's go down to browser games. Okay, I think that works. And then yeah, look at that.
Hell yeah.
All right. So I want to scooch that over. That looks better.
Just an ad break also.
Yeah. And so we have all 18 movies that I'm talking about in the video. It looks like so few when you line them up like this.
Yeah.
But also that's basically every film except for like the last will and testament of George Harrison. Um, our tiers here. We have "Got to Get You Into My Life."
These are all Beatles songs.
Yep, for the best of the best. Yeah, all of these are Beatles songs. "Got to Get You Into My Life." That's our best of the best. "Anytime at All." That's our A tier. It's good, but there's some flaws to it. "Let It Be." It's a B. Hey, let it be.
Solid B.
Solid B, like it's a decent
fine.
movie. Yeah, nothing terribly special. C is like this is basically like skip it. Don't go out of your way to look for it.
Yeah, if you're on a plane.
Yeah, if you're on a plane and there's nothing else to watch, yeah, but not a second time.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna have to disagree on some of these, I'm gonna tell you.
Probably, yeah. In that case, we'll probably split the difference.
Yeah.
And then Honey Don't, the worst of the worst. Do not even bother. So, starting off, Hard Day's Night. V, tell me your thoughts on Hard Day's Night.
They're all really annoying. Beatles' first film, they're all really fucking annoying in it.
True.
I don't remember most of what happens except for the grandpa and Ringo's little adventure. Most of it's half of it's a concert. Okay, not half, but a lot of it's a concert.
It's like the last 15 minutes.
I find it pretty boring, but it's still better than some other stuff on this list. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is
It's a Beatles film.
It's a Beatles film.
You could certainly say that.
I don't dislike this one. I kind of like it, but it gets blown out of the water by basically
Several other
several other things on here. I think that it's Let It Be.
Yes. Agree.
Help.
Help is a lot of fun.
Help is very pog.
Also racist.
Help is very racist, not pog. Just to be clear.
It's got amazing visuals.
It does. It's a stunning movie to look at.
And it's very wacky hijinks with lots of slapstick.
Yep.
Yeah. I think A tier for me.
Yeah, the racism knocks it down one. Yeah. Otherwise, it would. Ooh, if you got rid of a little bit of that, it would be an S. Magical Mystery Tour.
What are your thoughts on Magical Mystery
An
Tour?
insane film. It's not a film, really. It's certainly footage. It certainly moves at least 25 frames a second.
They certainly filmed it on cameras.
They did, yeah.
There were a bus.
Yeah, there are people who showed up to be filmed.
To mumble.
Yeah, including the Beatles. Yeah, so that's a plus for this list. The music is so mid for like what is basically what. I don't even consider it to be my favorite Beatles album anymore. This movie ruined it for me.
Wow, yeah. So, I think don't bother with this one.
It's Honey Don't.
Yep, it's a Honey Don't from us.
I hate to put it down there, but Honey Don't. Cantaloupe, but oh honey do. Yeah,
that's a great sequence in the video. There may or may not be tits. You'll have to find out.
Could there be? Yellow Submarine.
Well, I know where you're going to put this.
Do you know?
Yes, I do. I mean, the animation's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird as fuck.
It is weird as fuck.
It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't remember most of it because I was not in the headspace to be watching it when we watched it.
Yeah. So I would put it into Got to Get You Into My Life, but like the lowest Got to Get You Into My Life.
An A-.
A-, yeah. So I think this is an Anytime at All.
That's fair.
Let It Be.
Do you think nobody comes to the streams that I'm on because they're jealous?
Yeah. Somebody is here. Oh wait, is that you?
I think it's me.
It's okay. Yeah. It's not as popular as we used. Once we put out the video, it's all gonna change. Copium. Wait, hang on. I gotta. Hang on. Do I have better Twitch TV on here? There we go.
Oh, someone's here. I can't read that username.
I'm here. Hello. It's Corbin. Hi.
Hello.
We're doing well, thank you.
Have you been to other streams that I've been on? Have you seen us give tattoos to each other, or are you new?
I think Corbin's a new follower, new fan.
All right. Well, cool.
So Let It Be, the film.
You didn't answer how you are.
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you? I thought I said it. How are you?
I wasn't listening. Yeah, we're good. Sleepy.
Yeah, 2 new.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are unlisted now.
Oh,
at
true.
your request.
Good to be there.
Let It Be.
Let It Be. Let It Be is a very interesting, boring movie.
Yep.
Can you explain it?
So Let It Be is a documentary about the making of the album Let It Be. During a pretty tumultuous time in the Beatles' history. This is basically a few months before they started suing each other. I gotta turn this down slightly. It's like not a second time.
Yeah, well, so it was originally going to be footage.
It was originally going to be basically a documentary of them preparing for this concert and then the concert, like a live concert. It was like an intro to the concert, essentially. And then they canceled the concert.
And then George quit the band.
No, they quit. They canceled the concert after George quit the band
Because
and came
George
back.
quit the band.
Yeah, because George was like, you can't. I don't want to do the concert."
That's how you're gonna deliver that line.
Yeah.
You're not gonna.
Oh, I'm
Do your
sorry.
little accent.
I think I'm going to be leaving the band now.
Take a shot. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
It's a well-made movie for what they had.
but if you're gonna watch this, you might as well watch Get Back.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no reason. It's worth watching it just to see what. I think you should watch Get Back and then see this to see what Michael Lindsay Hogg managed to scrap together.
Yeah.
The opposite way around also really works.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because you get to see the entire story afterwards. It's kind of, it almost becomes like a behind the scenes of that movie.
Hey.
Hey, Lorelai. Around the Beatles.
Now finished the original Beatles. So this is the first section of the video. Yep. And it is the Beatles movies that the Beatles made? Yes. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, I say the canonical Beatles movies.
Let it be.
I mean, they also technically weren't in Yellow Submarine except for the very end. But true. It's still like made... It's still them, you know? They wrote new songs for it and stuff. It's
How did they end up popping it at the end? I forget. Because they weren't going to be in it, right?
Yeah, they popped in at the end because they saw, like, I'm guessing a work print of it or something, and they were like, this is deeply Pog. We actually want to... This is deeply Pog. We actually want to... Can we do a little cameo?
Big shot. Yeah.
But yeah, these are the 5 Beatles films.
Yes.
So then the next 6 are documentaries. Starting with Around the Beatles, which isn't technically a documentary, but it's not made by the Beatles. It's basically a filmed concert, but also they do a sketch of Pyramus and Thisbe at the beginning. And I think the only thing gayer than playing Pyramus and Thisbe together are these little outfits. To quote that one very funny person on
yeah. You know, there's some very like the only way I can think of is cute clips of them in this.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it,
no.
But I have now watched the footage many times. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
First 10 minutes are fun. Not a second time.
Okay. Yeah, seems fair.
It's fun. Taking a look at our Twitch recap, congrats for being the reason we're in the 10% of watchers for Nightmare Ned, Nancy Drew, and Death Stranded. They give you stats like Spotify Wrapped. Like you were in the top 10% of Nightmare Ned fans. That's so funny.
If you looked at yours, would it just be you watching all your own streams? No, you watch those on YouTube.
Sometimes I'll watch it on Twitch, but I don't think it counts, you know. Yes, I watch my own streams. So yeah, next up is What's Happening, The Beatles in the USA, which I didn't technically see the full thing of. It's very interesting. It's some weird filmmaking.
I basically skipped the documentaries for the record.
You tapped out of everything except for Get Back, which is the longest one.
Yeah.
And the one most worth watching. Spoilers. I'm almost tempted to put this in Let It Be because I find it that interesting.
Okay. Sure.
Beatles in Japan. So this is a honey don't with parentheses unless you speak Japanese.
I know, and Oak didn't even learn Japanese in order to watch this film for the video, which is just really slacker behavior.
I decided I should probably get this video out this year and not 10 years from now.
But yeah.
Imagine I filmed the rest of the video and then there's just one segment in the middle where I'm 10 years older.
And you just only speak Japanese.
Oh, that would have been so. I should have paid somebody on fucking Fiverr or something to translate it into Japanese.
You like dub it over badly.
Oh, that would have been good.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway. So best of the Beatles.
Wait, but I was just gonna say the Beatles in Japan does have some excellent creepypasta footage.
It does. They were ahead of their time. Anyway. They could have been the first Marble Hornets. So best of the Beatles, S tier, obviously. Got to Get You Into My Life.
Your boy. You didn't even watch the whole thing.
I didn't watch the whole thing. It's obviously Honey. Don't watch this movie.
Oh, I thought you were serious because you're a Pete Best stan now.
A little bit. So it's oh no, I should save that story for the people who listen to the director's commentary. But I actually had an interaction with one of the Pete Best 4. Gotta pledge at least $1 on
I'm about to do something inappropriate on stream, an inappropriate gesture.
So anyway. Yeah, this movie is god awful. It is just oh my god, Pete Best.
It's really sad. It sounds.
It's sad. I like. There's somebody I say I pity in this video, and I don't pity Pete Best as much as I pity that guy because Pete Best doesn't seem to be constantly mopey about it. He's also doing his own thing, whereas the other guy is on Twitter constantly complaining about what could have been, essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah. Nope.
No, sounds like, man, just watching the footage of the people telling stories that just should never have been told and we're not interested. Nope. Anyway, yeah. What are we drinking?
We're drinking homebrew wine. This is a spiced Asian pear wine. We brewed this in like September, and it's good.
It's quite alcoholic, surprisingly.
It's a lot of sugar in it.
That'll do it.
Yeah. So next up, Beatles and India. Not Beatles in India. Beatles and India.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
That actually makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of about their like relationship with the
country,
with the continent of India.
Yeah. So this one is really boring, but it has a really valuable voice to the conversation. I think it's not a second time, but it's like high, not a second time. This is like
a solid C+.
Yeah. It's like if you have an interest in the relationship, like what people in India feel and felt about the Beatles, which is an interesting thought.
Because they had a lot of cultural
exchange.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good concept. There's some good parts in it. It's I wish it was trimmed down a little bit. Like if you knocked like 20 minutes off of this movie, I think it would be like 10 times better. V, the documentary you watched, tell me about Get Back.
So first of all, it is directed by Peter Jackson. That Peter Jackson.
Yep.
He has had a wild career and apparently, I guess, is a big Beatles fan because he took that footage how many hours of footage?
60
hours of footage that sad man filmed in London.
For Michael Lindsay Hogg.
And he said, we're going to make a more interesting documentary out of this. And he did. And it is an 8-part series on Disney+.
No, it's a 3-part series that's 8 hours
It's
long.
An 8-hour, 3-part series.
Yep.
It felt like an 8-part series. But it was also very interesting.
I just see us peeking, so I'm just quickly trying to. Maybe that's not it. Keep talking. Tell me about your thoughts on Get Back.
Yeah. So basically, it takes that footage and it makes it much more contextualized, and it includes the right bits of it. So like they show you them not only just like rehearsing, but they're like writing the songs that we know from the White
From
Album.
Let It Be.
That's what the album is called.
Yeah, Let It Be and Abbey Road as well.
Don't know what any of the albums are still. Anyway, so yeah, we're like seeing these songs that we all mostly know be conceptualized, and a lot of that's fascinating. It is fascinating to watch these songs like go from gibberish to like full songs.
Yeah, we learned the the Beatles process of songwriting, which is to go scrambled eggs, just kind of say some shit until something sticks. Which I mean, it worked.
Yeah,
for most of the
mostly.
songs. Some of them probably should have gone into the nonsense generator for a little longer.
Yeah, it also like it definitely like it holds your attention. It stressed me out because I'm like, you guys, you don't have time.
Yeah.
They're showing you like this calendar that's like a countdown until the concert that's supposed to happen. And then they end it with the rooftop concert, the famous rooftop concert, which is the last time they performed live.
Yep.
Right?
Together, at least.
So that's fucking wild. And so seeing that come together, seeing that happen is like really cool. And also I'm like, oh my god, they haven't written fucking Get Back yet, and it's like the concert's in like a day.
Yeah, they're still fucking struggling with two of us. So in the video, I make a joke, and people who've seen me edit the Let It Be section know this. I make a joke about like how much I hate Two of Us now because of this, because you hear it over and over in Let It Be. My feelings for that got mixed up with how I actually feel about Get Back, which Get Back they play Two of Us like fucking 50 times.
That was such a confusing sentence because Get Back is a song, and also
no.
Anyway, yeah, so they play that song a lot of times, including a very funny version, which you will see later.
It's so Get Back.
Yeah. Gotta get you in my life. Like it is a really interesting. It humanized the Beatles for me in a way that I did not really give a shit about them before. But watching them stress out and also break up, and then in a very British way, and then come back together and like communicate about their feelings was kind of absolutely fascinating to me as a psych nerd. And also it's also really bittersweet because it's like, fuck, this is like the end.
It is.
Like,
and like
you're watching the end happen, and that is fascinating.
It's what I wanted Let It Be to be.
Yeah.
And like it's clear that everyone knows this is getting towards the end too.
Yeah. And they're fucking tired.
Yeah.
And yet they're still like like they still have fun together.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Paul cries at one point. Just because he's like so stressed and like depressed about like how things are going.
Also, you see Yoko there.
You do see Yoko. She vibes.
She's just there the entire time, sitting next to John.
Sometimes she's doing the morning freak out.
Yeah.
Which I don't talk about in the video, but it's when she and John are in microphones going.
Ah! Yes.
I think Heather McCartney joined some at one point.
Nice. Heather
Eastman, pardon.
But yeah, also there's a Yoko tangent in the video. Don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry, we cover Oak's thoughts on Yoko Ono. Like that bitch.
That skank. Dare she do that to my boys?
It's not true. Okay. Yeah, alright. Is that it? That's it for the documentaries.
That is the documentaries. Okay. Great. Now we talk about the tangential films. We've got 7 here.
It felt like more.
It did feel like more. There is technically 2 more, but I'm keeping those a secret.
Yeah.
So, The Ruddles.
Explain what it is.
So, The Ruddles is by...
It's by?
Hello? It's by Eric Idle and some of the other Monty Python crew and some of the like late 70s Saturday Night Live crew, because it was funded by Lorne Michaels, I believe. And it is essentially a documentary about this.
It's a mockumentary.
Yeah, it's a mockumentary. Yeah. That's a parallel universe Beatles, the Ruddles, who are they are the Beatles, but they're far less successful in a lot of ways. It's a very weird film.
There's too many celebrity cameos that are all boring.
Yep.
Basically.
Paul Simon, Mick Jagger, somebody else.
It's very British humor. It's very Monty Python. It's very, 70s?
Yep. Late 70s.
I was bored as fuck. I could not finish it a second time.
So you're not a second time. I'm kind of let it be.
Yeah.
Let's put it at high, not a second time.
Okay.
Because I think that's kind of what I settled on in the video too.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to see like once.
Yeah. If you're a Beatles nerd and get all the inside jokes, which I didn't.
Even after all that?
No. Not really. It's just too British.
Okay. So next up we got Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the movie that the Bee Gees made in order to attempt to eclipse the Beatles.
It's such an insane concept.
Yep. So I fucking hated this movie when I first saw it. Or like I didn't hate it, but I was like, this is really bad.
Yeah.
And then I got high and watched it a second time. It's legal here. And I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. And then I edited it for like 5 hours. And I was like, you know what? It's pretty good.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I also my commentary during this film was what the fuck is happening? And also why would they do this? Because they make so many stupid weird choices about the song, the length of the songs that they include.
God.
But there's also band cameos that sing the songs.
Yep. Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah. Alice Cooper.
Beautiful rendition of Because.
Fucking Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin does a song.
And the visuals are pretty insane. The visuals are fun. The story is shit.
Oh, it's god awful.
The acting is shit.
Terrible.
But it also is kind of hilarious.
Yeah. I think I like it for the same reasons that I like Help.
Yeah.
I like, it's the same reason I like Airplane. I like shit that just throws everything at the wall.
But Airplane's actually funny.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Help is actually funny.
Yeah, that's true.
There are a couple of funny things in Sgt. Pepper where, they go up in this balloon to, go off to Hollywood or whatever to be signed to a record label, and then you see this plane. The plane, it looks like it crashes into the balloon. It looks like they fucking died, but then it just shows them on the plane. It's like, what the fuck?
And I won't tell you what happens at the end, but the end is...
The end makes it all
You're
worth it.
All right, they just did that, I guess. Where are we leading on this?
I don't know, not a second time. Or, a low...
let it be, yeah.
So I
get high and watch it.
Yeah, get high and watch it. That's essentially where we're at. It's the lowest let it be. I think there are a couple of good songs in here. I think that it's fucking weird. I admire how weird it is. I think the Bee Gees are too fucking full of themselves and the concept of this film.
That's the thing. I think they were so serious about it. And it is not a serious movie.
Yeah, no.
At all.
It's so weird. Anyway.
Yeah, look, this is so interesting, the way this is shaking.
Yeah.
Out. Okay. The Hours and Times.
The Hours and Times. V.
So it is the first of our 3 series that is here of what if John Lennon were gay fanfiction movies.
What if John kissed one of the people he regularly interacted with?
There is an M/M ship in each of these movies that are coming up.
Yep.
And so this one is John and Brian Epstein.
I say Epstein because I swear to God I heard footage of him saying Epstein one time. Copium.
Yeah, so it's the two of them. It's this concept of the two of them go to Barcelona for a weekend and
something that actually happened.
Yes, and Brian Epstein was actually gay in real life, and so people are like, what if they had a weird makeout in a bathtub? It is a weird film. It's very art house. The actor who plays Brian is phenomenal. The
Yep.
actor who plays John is god awful.
Terrible.
Like just two opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yep. The thing is that Brian's actor didn't do much after this in terms of like being on screen acting. He did a lot of voiceovers. He did a lot of writing. He wrote like most, if not all, of the episodes of this one Jim Henson show. It was like Mother Goose's Nursery Time or something like that. And he's done a lot of like documentary voiceover. It's cute.
Why did you just get that?
I don't know. But yeah, which I'm glad he does documentary voiceovers because he has a beautiful voice. But yeah, so Ian Hart as John Lennon though.
So bad. The ADR.
The ADR is terrible.
So bad.
The director spent 2 years editing this film.
Yeah.
It does not show.
Does not.
Does
no
not
budget.
show. No
Zero.
budget.
Negative budget.
In which case, I kind of appreciate what we have.
Yeah. The first time we watched this, I said, this is my favorite one so far. The second time we watched this, I said, this isn't very good.
Yeah, no.
So I would give it a solid middle.
Yeah, I think it's a let it be. I think it's above Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
Just because
it's interesting.
Yeah, I think Hours and Times knows what it wants to do more than Sgt. Pepper. Also, move this shit down.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's more interesting than Hard Day's Night. For sure. I would definitely watch Hours and Times before I watch Hard Day's Night again.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the highest honey don't.
What?
Best of the Beatles is the highest honey don't.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So the second of these films, we have Backbeat, which is John / Stuart Sutcliffe, the original bassist for the Beatles. V, what'd you think of Backbeat?
It's pretty good.
I like it a lot.
It's pretty good. It has some really interesting stuff in it. It
Beautiful
has some
cinematography.
Really amazing cinematography, some pretty good, decent acting.
Yep. Ian Hart again, though.
Ian Hart. So he got better in that one, but still was bad.
Yeah.
Same John Lennon actor.
I think part of why he's worse in Hours and Times is that the dialogue in that movie is not very good.
I'm just like chugging this thing. Whenever I'm on a stream, I'm always chugging whatever liquid is beside me. Anyway, moving on to my water bottle. What did you just say?
The dialogue in Hours and Times is not very good, and I think that's why Ian Hart gives a worse performance there than in Backbeat. Yes. But in Backbeat, I still don't like his performance. No. I think it's too fucking much.
So lots of these movies really make John an absolute fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like the worst kind of fuckboy. Like a homophobic, annoying fuckboy. Well, they're also shipping him with men in these movies.
Yeah. Are you saying he's a fucking queer? Are you saying he's a fairy?
But what if? No, I shan't. That's him.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about who it's about. Or
yeah, it's like Stuart Sutcliffe.
Okay.
It's actually like a love triangle between Stuart Sutcliffe, his later fiancée Astrid Kircher, a famous Beatles photographer in the early days.
Can you pull up the image real quick?
The picture, yeah.
The picture.
Is it 2 inches? Yeah. I think I need to fix the typo then.
2 H's.
Yeah, it's a very German name. Where is it? There you are. Where's the real one? There it is. Yeah, so that's Astrid Kircher. Brilliant photographer. Let me move us. Brilliant photographer. She did some really good multiple exposures. That isn't a double exposure? Kind of.
I think so. I like it.
Yeah, it is very cool. Here's the one I was thinking of, where it's like John, then John up close, and it's so well centered. I think there's one of George too, but it's so hard to find her shit.
Yeah, and then we'll show her like famous Beatles pictures.
So she did their photography in like the early years, like this photo.
Go ahead and name everyone.
So this is Pete Best, George.
He's cut off even in this picture.
I think it's something with the cropping on this site. Yeah, there we go.
He's always getting shoved to the side.
Poor Pete. So Pete Best, George Harrison, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and Stuart Sutcliffe himself.
And who is Stuart Sutcliffe?
Stuart Sutcliffe is the original bassist for the Beatles. He died tragically.
I was going to say, he lived a long life.
Yeah, he lived a really long life, died at the ripe old age of 22 of a brain hemorrhage. Really fucking tragic.
Yeah, so the movie is about that, and about their friendship, about them being in Germany.
Yeah,
Germany. Like in the early days. It is
playing
interesting.
Shitty clubs.
Yeah. I think Astrid is the really interesting part of it.
Astrid's actress, who I won't give away, does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
She kills it.
Yeah.
She makes the film for me.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
Kind of putting this into Got to Get You Into My Life.
I'll take it. Yeah.
I really
if you're gonna watch some Beatles movies, those are some good ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Two of us. A made-for-TV movie for VH1.
It is also
What If
slash Paul.
Yep. What if John and Paul kissed?
But not really. But
not really. What if like John kissed him as like a joke one time?
But also like they were like kind of really. It's a fan fiction. It is absolutely more than any of these other ones. Absolutely, like I've read this on AO3 basically.
Yep.
It's incredible in a terrible way. It's bad. The dialogue is bad.
This was another one where when we watched it, you said this one was really good.
Did I say it was really good or did I say it was interesting? Because I don't
somewhere between those two.
Because I don't remember being blown away by it. I definitely was like, this is a more interesting way to do one of these movies.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's fan fiction.
Yeah.
So it's fan fiction made into a film, which is the pieces that I liked of it was it's the what's the like give the context for like where they're at in the Beatles lore.
So this is 1976.
So it's like a post.
Yeah. Several years post Beatles. This is when everything is better with them now. They're done suing each other. They're done being mad at each other mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And so Paul visits. He's like starting his American tour with Wings, his band after the Beatles. And he drops by John's apartment in the Dakota in New York, and just like hangs out with him for the whole day. And this takes place on the same night that Lorne Michaels goes on Saturday Night Live, because all four Beatles are actually in New York at that time, even though we've never seen George or Ringo in this movie. And there was a thing around that time where a bunch of different like music venues essentially were like taking out ads like, Beatles, if you come and play like 30 minutes, we will pay you $30 million. Like for all four. I didn't quite realize
that was the context. That's
yeah. And so Lorne Michaels goes on Saturday Night Live and says, we are prepared to offer you $3,000. And he like holds up a certified check for it too. And then 2 weeks later, he comes on and says, NBC has allowed me to sweeten the pot. $3,200. So that's $50 more for each of you.
I don't know the situation with Ringo.
Yeah, if you split it equally. So that's that day. And so
the fan fiction aspect of it is like, it's basically like, yeah, it's like, okay, imagining these men who were in this like, you know, decade-long, really intense, like worldwide empire, like close quarters, intense situation together. They have now moved past that. They've grown up a little. They're reminiscing about they have some like beef between them still, kind of. There's like something there. But they also have like this shared language. It's so fanficky.
It is.
And they just kind of have a little like day together, and like go out into Central Park, and they like wear disguises, and they have like a deranged fan that's Oak come up to them. and then at the end, you're kind of like, is this gonna, what's going on here? Like, are we gonna, and then they're like,
and they don't.
So
Which
I
is,
just
it's funny because the story of Paul and John, who were actually hanging out that day, and Paul tells the story of them
hi
going to
Ash.
Saturday Night Live. Hi Ash, going to Saturday Night Live or watching it and seeing that and like considering going down. And Paul ends the
Yeah.
story of, and then we were like, let's not and say we did.
Well, then they're like, oh, I remembered I'm straight and I love my wife.
That's the film.
So I don't know. I mean, I definitely can't put this higher than Let It Be.
Yeah, no, I think this is better than Hours and Times.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. The Hours and Time is just so dragged down by John for me.
Yep.
He's just so awful.
It's also half an hour longer than Hours and Times, but feels half an hour shorter.
That is true. That is true. Yeah.
Or at least Hours and Times feels half an hour longer than it is.
I can't believe how many of these movies that you watched and reported on were deeply mid.
Yeah.
Speaking of what's not deeply mid, the next one, you know where to put it.
100. Got to get you into my. Hang on, I gotta do it. Got to get in the. Yeah.
Across the Universe, 2007.
Fantastic movie. 5 stars.
We've got to talk
100%.
about our history with this movie.
Tell me first.
So I remember being a little queer kid in high school going to the theater and seeing this movie, and this was 2 years after Rent came out when I went to the theater and saw that movie, where I was like, wow, I'm on the screen, sort of. That was like a very deeply emotional experience for me to like see myself represented in a way, and then to go see Across the Universe, like, not that it's a super queer movie, but it is kind of a queer movie. It's a queer movie. Like, it's not like an explicitly queer movie, but it is a queer.
Yeah. I mean, it has an explicitly queer character.
It does.
It's like, I feel like Julie Taymor wanted to make it queerer.
Yeah.
Because I know she had to fight with the studios on a lot of things. Like, she had to fight fucking tooth and nail for a, like, wide shot that happened to have Lucy with one nipple showing.
Yeah. Yeah, but they still got a fucking lesbian in there. And, I mean, it's... The visuals are stunning. We'll talk about that more.
Julie Taymor.
The music, the covers are phenomenal. I listen to that soundtrack still often.
Yep.
Like almost all of them I think are, there's a couple mid ones, but for the most part they're like fantastic covers. I like a lot of them more than the original Beatles songs. Oak disagrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, talk about Julie Taymor and who that is. Because...
So Julie Taymor she got her start in the theater world, and she is known for her very distinct visual style and getting weird with it. Essentially, she takes like really, she goes very out there with ideas. So like she also did both the stage play and the later film adaptation Titus, which is not.
Should I watch that? Should we watch that? Yeah. I like Julie Taymor now.
Yeah, I mean, we can watch fucking Tempest. We can watch Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark. She was briefly involved in that until they fired her ass or she left or whatever the hell happened. But like Titus has this weird visual style where it blends all these different time periods of Italy together because it's a Roman story. It's hard to explain. Oh, she also did the Lion King Broadway show.
That makes sense. So she does a lot of puppetry.
Yeah.
Puppet. Really big visual. Also, Ash, what did I say about your feelings on this? I don't remember. That was like 2 months ago. I don't have it that long. Also, I'm getting a hair attack.
Okay.
It's hot.
Yeah, Julie Taymor does a lot of puppetry. She has a very distinct visual style. She loves to get weird with it. And I love her. She also seems like a very sweet woman. I watched a couple of interviews with her. And she clearly loves doing what she does. And she has fun with it. And she doesn't let haters get her down, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, so we watched this last June. Basically like what the second time I came out here.
Yeah.
And you hadn't you were thinking about this project?
I think that's what inspired me to start thinking about this project.
Yeah, because we were like we like to watch movies together, and for some reason that one came up. And I was like, I think I really liked this as a teenager, and I vaguely remember we've watched it since I was a teenager, but I don't really remember the details. And we watched it, and the entire time we were like we're like singing along, we're like, oh my god. So it's a good movie, and then we've watched it since then again, and I really love it.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love all the acting. I love the characters and stuff. What?
What Ash said.
I know very little about the Beatles. Up until like a month ago, I thought there were 5 of them. One was named Henry.
Yeah. No, that's the Raven cycle.
Lord.
You should definitely watch this video. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's takes place in the like summer of '69 era. Like moving from like peace and love, drugs to Vietnam War and resistance. And it's pretty intense, but it ends on like a positive note. And the characters are compelling.
Yeah.
You feel for them. The romance is kind of annoying, but whatever. There's more annoying romances, as we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah. Could be worse.
Okay, so Lorelai Same, Oak's content became my Beatles education because I didn't really know much about the Beatles aside from the one album, which was the only one I ever listened to growing up. And I was kind of like, LOL, you like the Beatles, nerd. Now I'm still like, LOL, you like the Beatles, nerd, but also I get
it. My best friend and I watched Across the Universe because we had a crush on the same guy, and he was obsessed with the Beatles, and this movie just came out. And we thought it was going to be like about them, so we were super lost and didn't like the movie because we didn't know what was up.
That makes sense.
Skill issue. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely, skill issue. Is the ad over?
No, it's still going, but it'll be done in a minute. It doesn't. Subscribe. Or use an ad blocker. I don't give a shit. So,
well, Ash, I look forward to you watching the 3.5-hour YouTube video that will be coming out within the next couple weeks.
Yeah,
before the end of the year, and
before
also I look forward to you becoming a patron so you can listen to our director's commentary that we recorded earlier this week
for as little as $1.
Anyway, did we have something else to say about that?
No.
It's a great movie. We love that one. Good obviously. Movie.
And finally, yesterday, all my troubles seemed so far away until I watched this movie.
I'm so mad. I'm still so angry about this movie. Oki gets into it. There's like, what, 30 minutes of the video is about this? 20 minutes?
25 minutes of the 3.5-hour video are about this. So literally, like, what's
wow, you just slapped it right into Honey Don't, huh?
16% of the video is about yesterday.
That's an interesting number.
This is partly out of spite. I don't think it's the worst movie in the world. I think that it just blows it.
It sucks so bad. I liked it a lot.
Yep. First half of the movie is
the halfway part. So, well, very briefly, because there's 25 minutes of this in the video, it's this idea that this man gets hit by a car, some weird alternate reality thing happens, and he ends up in a world where the Beatles don't exist, and also other things. But he finds out, and he's a musician, he figures out pretty quickly Beatles music doesn't exist and no one's ever heard of them, and so he starts writing their music, and he becomes very, very famous and very, very successful because everyone's like, oh my god, the best music ever.
Yeah.
You're the greatest songwriter that ever lived.
The songs we've released online have created unprecedented reaction.
Yeah, it's real dick sucky.
Yeah. It's masturbatory.
And you know what? We're gonna not even spoil what happens that spoils it, but it fumbles it so hard that it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Almost like I kind of want people to watch it because it's so infuriating.
The movie, or
yeah, but not a second time. That's where I would put it.
Lois, not a second.
I would watch this before Best of the Beatles. Magical Mystery Tour.
Magical Mystery Tour is less than half of the runtime of yesterday.
That's true.
And it's got some good music.
Yeah.
It's got I'm the Walrus, at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's our thoughts. I can't believe so many are B and C, but I guess, I mean, that's average.
Yeah. And very few kind of in the top tiers.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah, this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
If you were like, so I mean, this is to your taste. So I was gonna say, if you're like an extremely diehard Beatles fan, would this change at all? Like, if you like knew everything already going in.
No.
I mean, yeah, because that's you.
Yeah, because I mean, I became even more of like knowledgeable Beatles person through doing this project.
Yeah.
I think that like in some ways, no, it doesn't change anything.
Mm-hmm.
I
Which
think,
is interesting because
yeah,
then I'm coming down on the same sort of. I mean, part of it's because we talked about them a lot.
yeah. I think there are probably a couple of ones that if you're like a super fan might be very pog. Like I'm sure there's a diehard group they'll say Around the Beatles has got to get you into my life.
I guess it depends on what you're looking for. Also,
Yeah.
like we put the queer ones in the middle.
Yep.
Mostly because we're like,
it gets points for being queer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Want to see how many Beatles songs you can name off the top of your head?
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Pull up a like a document that I can type into.
Okay. Hang on.
Do an Omegle? What?
Omegle?
What are you talking about? Like go on Omegle?
Sporkle. Wow.
I don't know what this is.
It's a quiz site.
Oh, that's fair. All right, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay.
That's a little less interesting.
It is. 20 minutes.
Wow.
To name all of these studio albums. Oh, they got singles in here? Oh, honey, don't.
Here, you have less than 20 minutes. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yes.
10 minutes.
It's not a very interesting stream.
Okay, we could do this at the end.
Clear I mean, what are these people doing? You're here for this.
Okay.
We are gonna do horror movies in a minute here.
Yes. We're gonna move on to our found footage list.
Someone say? I can't tell who wrote
that. Oh, that's Ash saying I got Sporkle continues.
No, above that.
That's Ash. Oh, sorry. Do you know the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band double album? My mom hadn't thought it was sung by the actual Beatles. Yeah, that's the Bee Gees. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we talked about that earlier.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one ended up in Let It Be.
Yeah.
For weird reasons.
Yeah.
All right.
Go.
Misery.
He suddenly forgets every Beatles song ever done.
Money. Nowhere Man.
Am I allowed to help you?
No.
I only know like 10 songs.
Oh, Darling.
Darling.
I Am the Walrus. Penny Lane. Come Together. I can probably name the I probably name Abbey Road no problem. Something Maxwell's Silver Hammer. Here Comes the Sun. Octopus's Garden. I hope that okay, it accepted it. Oh, what is that one? Oh, that's Because. No? Not sure what that one. They're not in a specific order. Oh, sorry.
You win if you get it in 5, pass if it's in 10. I like that.
Oh, okay. So, Sun King, you never give me your money. She came in through the
You want me to
fucking
type for you?
bathroom window. No. um. Polythene Pam. Mean Mr.
Never
Mustard.
fucking heard of that one.
Um. Carry that weight.
What's the one missing between all
Golden slumbers. I'm not sure. What is that? Oh, the end. They're trying to trick you here. Her Majesty. It's a secret one.
Ooh.
30 seconds after the end of the album, it's not listed on the jacket. What the fuck is that?
Do some other ones. You'll get to it.
All right. Your mother should know. Flying blue. Okay, way. Fool on the hill, Lady Madonna. Hey, bull dog. Come together now. All together now. Northern song. Only a northern song. Okay. Well, we can do Sergeant Pepper. Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club. Oh, I got both! Let's go! With a little help from my friends. Fixing a hole. Getting better. Hello, goodbye. What is... Oh, duh. Magical Mystery Tour. Penny Lane. Oh, all you need is love. And baby, you're a rich man.
Where's Carry That Weight? You said that.
It's down in Abbey Road.
Oh, but it was in Sergeant.
Well, it was in Sergeant Pepper the movie.
No.
Oh, she's leaving home. Lovely Rita. Meet a maid.
Do all those name ones.
You're mind flooding me here.
Alright.
It's okay. Hard day's night. So help has the night before. You've got to hide your love away. Another girl. What is that one? Oh, duh. Ticket to Ride.
Duh.
Oh, no, it's not even in that spot, whatever. Yesterday, act naturally. Okay. Ooh, Dizzy Miss Lizzie? Is that how you fucking spell it? There we go. Not blue suede shoes. Old brown shoe? I think I got it. I don't know where, but I got it. The taste of honey. Chains. Some of these are covers. Oh, duh. Twist and shout.
Was that a cover?
Yeah.
Oh.
Please Please Me is mostly covers. Oh, Love Me Do.
Do all the ones with love in them.
He loves you. Beatles for Sale is such a weak spot for me. Kansas City, please. Okay, thank God they didn't make me type hey, 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 hey. I did Nowhere Man. Revolver, Dr. Robert. Drive my car. That's Rubber Soul, I guess. Axeman. Eleanor Rigby. Okay. And your bird can sing. Everybody's fucking got something to hide except for me and my monkey.
What the fuck?
The continuing story of Bungalow
Let's try just putting that.
Bill.
W.
There. Back in the USSR, your Prudence
7 minutes
glass onion, wild honey pie. 2 words. Okay. Honey pie. Why don't we do it in the road? Trying to think of more Sgt. Pepper too. Oh, within you, without you. I'm only sleeping. You won't see me. Babies in Black.
So many of these I've never ever fucking heard in my entire life.
That's not from Revolver.
Don't get
Oh no, that's I'm So Tired. I'm thinking of.
Did you get all the ones on the tier list that we used?
Oh god, got to get you into my life. Let it be. I, me, mine. Not a second time. Thank you. Honey, don't. I think I already did. No. All right. Can't buy me love.
You're missing stuff from across the universe.
Yeah. Oh, I want to hold your hand. Fucking, I did Dear Prudence, Glass Onion, Honey Pie. Oh, Don't Pass Me By. That's a Ringo one. Day in the Life.
This is fascinating.
There were a couple they didn't play in Sgt. Pepper that's actually on the album. Getting better.
Oh, you don't have one of the main ones. Actually, I don't know if that's on Sgt. Pepper. I think it might be on the White Album. Lord if I know.
What is the George Harrison one on Help? It's not The Night Before. Whatever.
No hints, Ash. Don't look at the chat.
Okay. Bird can sing. To get you into my life. We were talking about the space between. Tomorrow only knows. Tomorrow never knows. There we go. Norwegian Wood. Man, I know these.
Just go through across the universe. You're missing some important ones.
Blackbird. I've just seen a face. That was on Help. Okay. All my loving. Hold me tight. It won't be long.
All the ones I hate.
Oh, it's I won't. It won't be long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I said let it be. I said come together. Oh darling. I did something I did because Strawberry Fields, Day in Life, Blackbird, Sexy Sadie, first of all. Dear Prudence? No, I did that one. Fucking Being for the Benefit of Mr. Tight. That's one I forgot.
There's another one. In both of those movies.
Both the movies. Both the movies.
You made a joke about it.
You joke. I said because.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I said I am the walrus.
There's another one from Sergeant Pepper. I don't know if you're done yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's from Sergeant Pepper. It's from the movie Sergeant Pepper.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Oh, man. I know more of White Album. Long. I did Can't Buy Me Love.
Also go through Get Back, like the
Yeah. Oh, Big Pony, Two of Us. Hang on. Hang on. Long and Winding Road. I did I Me Mine. I did Maxwell. Okay. I'm looking through you.
I have two in my head that you haven't said.
Didn't know where, man. Eleanor Rigby. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Oh, that's the one I forgot. What is this? One? Within You Without You, Lovely Rita. I know I like this song too. Man, 15 minutes. Oh, 14 minutes. I did Penny Lane.
Okay.
Bungalow Bill. Your Blues. Hey Jude. Your Blues. Helter Skelter. Oh, duh. Across the Universe. Stupid.
Strawberry Fields. Yeah, you got Strawberry Fields.
Yeah.
There's so many fucking Beatles songs.
I'm only halfway through.
That's insane. You're doing amazing, to be honest.
Good night, one word? Okay.
You do get.
Okay.
Did you just come together?
Yeah, I did Come Together. It's on it's down there. Why is the last one here?
What else they play on the rooftop?
I did dig about. Oh, I've got a feeling. Yeah, that's how I've got a feeling. Man, it's hard to think of what's on Hard Day's Night. Oh me understand. If I Fell. What's the one where they're in the train car?
This is fascinating.
Thank you. It's killing me. I know more White Album than this. It's just that there's so many fucking songs on this album. Long and Winding Road. I did Wild Honey Pie. Yeah. Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill. I did Blackbird. I did Piggies. Alright. Cry Baby Cry.
Hang in there, folks.
I think they're kind of enraptured right now.
Are you enraptured, chat?
I try Old Brown Shoe already.
I feel like you did that. Oh! One of the ones that comes to mind. That's the thing about it's like watching someone do a backflip. That's the thing about Beatles songs. It's like there's always another one.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did that.
Did you get? Can you scroll down? Oh no, you got it. Never mind. Yesterday.
Yeah. What songs are from yesterday? Hey, dude. You Need Is Love. I got all of Magical Mystery Tour.
What is that one on Sgt. Pepper?
It's driving me fucking insane.
What's that one where they're like talking about the newspaper?
That's Day in the Life. I did And Your Bird Can Sing.
You did She's So Heavy?
How could I fucking forget? That's the one I forgot.
I win.
You win.
What else is Across the Universe that you didn't get?
I
Blackbird.
did Blackbird.
It Won't Be Long. I know. It Won't Be Long. I Won't Hold Your Hand. Do It the Road. Oh Darling. All You Need Is Love. Did you get All You Need Is Love?
Yeah.
Okay. It Won't Be Long. I Just See the Face. Octopus's Garden?
Yeah, I got it. Please me. I did Babies in Black. Looking through you. I did Tomorrow Never Knows. That feels good. Did Drive the Car. Taxman. I'm Only Sleeping.
I thought Octopus's Garden was by the Muppets. Oh, I know one you didn't get.
What?
Maybe. Revolution.
Oh, yeah.
I actually said that earlier.
Revolution 9. Revolution 1.
Oh, okay.
You gave me 3.
30 seconds.
Ah. Did she sleeping? I did. I've just I need to reach Beatles Nirvana real quick.
You got 15 seconds to do that. Are there any like Ringo songs?
I think I've run out of Ringo songs.
There's one I know isn't on there. What is it? Oh, we're out of time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could have known better.
What's the one? When I'm 64.
Fuck her.
Yellow Submarine!
I forgot Yellow Submarine. Which one is that on?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Revolver.
Wow. What are these that you forgot is the most devastating to you?
The most devastating to me? I saw her standing there. I should have fucking remembered.
You sound mildly heartbroken. Aw, yeah. Adorable.
Like, some of these things I would not have gotten. Like, most of this on Beatles for Sale. I know I'll Follow the Sun. I could not have named Mr. Moonlight if you put a gun to my head. Oh, 8 days a week.
I mean, there's just so fucking many. You did really good. Like,
thank you. I mean, I got 53. The average score was 56. Go fuck yourself.
Come on, no, it wasn't.
No, they're fucking cheating. Rocky Raccoon. Oh, While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Having to Feel
I knew there was ones in Across the Universe.
Obla-di, obla-da.
Well, who wants to remember Obla-di, obla-da?
Mother Nature's son. Birthday. Savoy truffle. I can
live without. What about down? Are there any singles you?
Abbey Road. I did get all of.
Damn.
Dig It. Oh, that's because I always listen to Let It Be Naked, and Dig It is not on Let It Be Naked. I don't even think Maggie May is.
I've never heard of several of those.
One After 909, I do know. For You Blue. Oh, because you're sweet and lovely girl.
The Ballad of John and Yoko.
Oh, yeah. Old Brown Chill, I was right. Oh, Don't Let Me Down. Okay, I Feel Fine. Long Tall Sally. Oh, this is bullshit. That doesn't count. All the instrumental ones.
Oh yeah, I know that is bullshit.
I just want to look one.
Okay.
Just finish looking. She said. Okay. Love You Too. Here, There, and Everywhere. I should have gotten.
Michelle.
Oh my god!
There's so
Someday
many
Monkey will play
girl.
piano song. Oh girl. What goes on? Yeah. I know this album too. Run for Your Life, the weirdly threatening one. For No One. Okay. Okay, well.
So Ash asked if there's any band that I can do this with, and the answer is no, because my brain doesn't store information in the way that yours does. But will you pull up an Evanescence one just
yes.
for fun? Just for a couple minutes. This isn't gonna exist.
Correct.
Yeah.
By the quotes, can you name the Evanescence songs? 3 albums?
I can get most of these, I think. Alright. Going. Oops, fuck. Maybe I can't type.
You don't have to enter.
No, that's not how you spell it. Black Rimosa. No, how do you spell? To be fair, that's a fucked up word. Oh my god, where's your mouse? What the hell? No? Okay, I'm mad because that's definitely on the open door. Whisper.
Oh.
Oh, what's this? No? Not on that one? On the later one? Okay. Oh, I know every single song on Fallen. Come on. I know, like, the lyrics.
Run through the lyrics. It might help.
No. These are baked into my DNA, and I still don't know. My brain just doesn't store information this way. What's the vampire one? Damn. Go back to the...
I know it.
That's interesting. Oh, okay. That's not the one I was thinking of, but yeah, obviously My Immortal.
Aren't they all the vampire one?
Yeah. Can you go back to the lyrics one? I'm just curious.
Can you name the song?
Why does this only have 3? Is it 3?
There's the lyric name of the song.
Oh, interesting. You should light it up. No, holding my last breath. That's it. Holding my last breath. Excuse me. That's the name of the song. Not Breathe.
Yeah, I thought maybe they were stupid.
All these thoughts of you, I don't know. There's My Immortal on there. I'm dying, praying, bleeding, and screaming. The Suicide Song. My brain doesn't work this way.
You want to see?
Yeah. Tourniquet. I didn't get down to Bring Me to Life, Everybody's Full. I would have gotten this. Imaginary is one I couldn't remember. Snow White Queen. No one was that good enough. I should have gotten that one. Okay, anyway. Interesting.
So, found footage?
Yes.
So, S tier is go find it.
That's boring, but okay.
I know what you want. Ooh, okay. And then Dookie.
Okay.
I don't know. Haunted by flaws.
I mean, wouldn't that be B tier?
I think haunted by flaws. It's like is overwhelming.
Okay.
What's our A tier?
Like something like surprisingly good. Worth a watch? I know it's boring, but
yeah,
it does what it says on the tin.
Yeah. I think find it. Okay. Find this footage.
but spooky is our top.
You didn't want find this footage to be the top.
All right.
Oh,
Final girl, but there's no final girl. It's not how the genre works generally. Home movie.
Oh, home movie. That's kind of fun. Home movie. Or hang on. This is home movie quality. And then
what was the one you just had there?
Haunted by Flaws.
Oh.
Mid.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So first we got
security footage.
Boring security footage is fine. Blair Witch Project. What do we think of Blair Witch?
We hated it.
Yep.
It's boring.
I think
they just yell at each other the entire time.
They really do. They never shut the fuck up.
Now, when I was 9, deeply terrifying, because I also thought it was real.
So I don't want to put it in Dookie because I think the last like 15 minutes are kind of
hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this home movie quality.
Yeah.
Snuff film quality.
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
I did not like it.
It's competently made. I also think this is kind of home movie quality. It's like between mid and home movie quality.
I wouldn't put it in mid even. I thought it was pretty boring.
I think it's better than Blair Witch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Creep.
Yeah. Sorry. I was just wondering if we wanted to give any more comments about these films because we've been
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy is like these white men join a white man cult, basically, and then they get discovered.
They're trying to like expose a white man cult, and then they're like, we're getting inside there, and then one of them gets fucking killed, and the other one.
No, because it's literally like it's the most dangerous game situation. Yeah, it's like they get brought to this like now we're gonna hunt a man, and it's like it's obvious. I found it very boring.
Yeah. Cool imagery though.
Yeah.
I like the masks and stuff.
Paranormal Activity isn't on here because we didn't watch it together, but one of the Paranormal Activities is. We'll get there.
Yep.
Creep.
So, Creep. So, I think the first Creep is kind of mid. Because I think that despite the lead actor goes so hard.
He really does.
I do actually love his weird performance.
So the idea is like this guy gets hired off of Craigslist to go film this guy for a day, like to make a film because he's like dying of cancer and he's dying of cancer and it's for his unborn child. And he's deeply creepy the entire time, but in a way that's like very interesting to watch. Mm-hmm. I found it funny.
Yeah. It is a comedy.
It's not like scary.
It's like a horror comedy.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd say mid for the first one.
Yeah, I think the first one is mid, and then despite me it kind of losing me at the ending, Creep 2 is find this footage.
I'm just so mad about the ending.
Yeah,
but it does have a deeply so go ahead.
So Creep 2 is basically the end of Creep. So we're gonna spoil most of these movies. The end of Creep, he kills the guy.
Yeah, you find out he's basically a serial killer that's been doing this.
Whatever. This is what he does. Yeah. This is his thing.
This is his thing. The beginning of the second one, he's like, he's still doing it, but he's lost his spark for it. Yeah. You see him like kill a guy at the opening. He's like, I'm so bored.
like I don't even care anymore.
Yeah. So he decides that he's gonna make a tell-all documentary, and so he once again hires like essentially a YouTuber with 0 subscribers.
I find it so funny that she's doing this and she has 9 subscribers.
Yeah.
And like 9 views on each video, essentially.
And she's a fucking weirdo. Like
she is.
Purple hair.
Pronouns probably.
Probably pronouns. And she's like down with the sickness. Like she's like not sure whether to believe him or not because he's very honest with her. Yeah, it's in a very funny way. Again,
he straight up tells her that he's a serial killer, but he's not going to kill her while making this movie.
Yeah. And they have like a very weird dynamic. They get kind of into like psychology together. They like have a very strange back and forth that's really entertaining.
Yeah.
Where you're like kind of like, this is doing something new that we haven't seen before.
Yeah.
And then it just like the end kind of falls off for me because it's like, oh, I thought she was like more aware of what was happening than this.
Yeah, it at the end it becomes clear that she didn't think that this was all serious. When I kind of thought that she realized it at some point before then. I feel like at some point I feel like I would have been more aware by that point.
Right. It's like he's laying it all out.
And he's
Are
like,
you just in denial?
Yeah. And he's like, I want you to kill me and take over this legacy.
Yeah. I don't know. I would also put that at mid just because it loses me. It's cool and entertaining, and then I got kind of mad at the end.
I love the performances.
The performances are good. It's interesting.
I like that it takes this movie and gets weird with it.
That's true.
And does something really like original with the same concept.
All right. You can find this footage.
Find this footage. It's on Netflix. Actually, I think they both are. Lake Mungo.
Lake Mungo. So we should also talk about like our relationship with horror and like what we like in a horror movie and like what we get scared of. Okay. So I like a paranormal. I like a unsettling. I like things that do things that like I can predict movies really well. We both can predict plot points really well. So I like ones that I can't predict, like that do something interesting.
Yeah.
I am not that into like the creep genre, but I do like what it does with those ones because it makes it very interesting. But Lake Mungo is about grief. Like there's a ghost story in there, but it's about this family whose daughter dies.
Yeah, tragically drowns.
Yeah, not in Lake Mungo.
No, Lake Mungo is actually a lake that is completely dried up. She drowns in like a dam.
Yeah. But it's a very interestingly told story. It's definitely fucking sad.
Yeah.
Like it's exploring this family's grief. It's like a documentary style, like they're being filmed, like talking about, and like at first they're like seeing her ghost show up in photos that the son is taking, and then like some twists happen, and then at the end you kind of like one thing after another is unearthed, like her secrets are unearthed, and you actually realize what happened. And there's a very creepy scene toward the end that is genuinely really unsettling and scary.
It still kind of fucks me up a little bit.
That's one of the images that is like in my head. But like overall, it wasn't a horror to me. It was more of like
it's a ghost story.
Yeah, it's like a family story.
I mean, all ghost stories are about grief, in a way.
Yeah, no, you're right. But it was good.
Yeah. Not all of these are necessarily horror.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Missing and Searching. Yeah, these are all just found footage.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Spooky
Well, also, what's your like feelings about horror? And like,
I mean, I like all sorts of things. I don't like stuff with jump scares. I like stuff that fucks with your head a bunch. I like stuff that plays with the medium of film, and especially with found footage, I like stuff that plays with found footage really well. Like, one thing I thought that was interesting about Blair Witch is that at one point the sound guy and the person with the camera split up, and so you hear audio but you don't know what's going on.
That's true.
And you're seeing completely different video with no audio. I like when horror takes itself seriously, or it needs to feel, or it gets weird with you. I love when shit gets weird with you.
Yeah.
I love when
we love it when it gets original.
Yeah, I like when they
And there's definitely some original stuff in Lake Mungo.
Yeah. I like the style of it. I like
it's very cinematography heavy.
Yeah.
There's these shots going through where they're like describing a dream they have, and it's just going through their empty house, and it's literally just like a shot, like a camera moving through an empty house, and it's like genuinely unsettling and terrifying. And it's like it's just an empty house, but it's like the way they're describing it, the way the cinematography looks. It's a good movie.
Yeah, good movie.
I wouldn't rewatch a lot, but like it's better than Mid.
I kind of think
it's top tier for you.
It's like either the lowest top tier or the highest find this footage.
It's definitely really good.
I think it's highest find this footage. I think I'm knocking it down a little bit because at this point it's a little overrated.
Yeah.
Because of Ryan Hollinger, who really enjoys his horror movies that have a deep meaning.
So good. Okay. What's this one?
Deadstream.
Oh. We should do Deadstream and Grave Encounters together.
Grave Encounters.
All right, Grave Encounters is what is this? Is it? It's
So Grave Encounters is a ghost hunting show.
I know.
It's a ghost hunting show. Where this team goes into a haunted asylum, and then it turns out it is haunted. But not in the normal way. Mm-hmm. It gets fucked up.
It gets so fucked up.
It becomes House of Leaves halfway through, and like some of the shit there like fucked me up a little bit.
Oh my god, this movie fucked me up.
It owns.
Yeah. The thing about Grave Encounters is okay. The thing about let me gather my thoughts here because this movie fucked with me. Most of these movies didn't stick with me in terms of like freaking me out. Some of them I was like mildly unsettled during. Some of them play with dread a lot. Then a lot of horror I can kind of like rise myself above it and not be scared of it because I'm like, they're doing stupid shit. Like they're doing the stupid thing. You can laugh at them because you're like, what are you doing? You're doing like you're doing the worst thing possible you could be doing right now. And you're like, I would be smarter in that situation. I would do this, right? Yeah. Like, we're always saying that when we're watching a movie. Grave Encounters, like, they, aside from doing it in the first place, going into a haunted asylum to film a ghost paranormal type show, they have no escape. Like, I'm like, oh, they should do X, Y, Z. They try that.
They try everything.
And it, like, gets really, like, full of dread. Like, they're just fucking trapped in there for days. And, like, it's not even like the visuals of it because they're definitely do some like cheap like guy on the ceiling that's scary looking.
That's all stupid. They should have cut all of that.
But it's more like the way it drives them slowly insane and the way they're trying to survive and they're like actually trying to stick together. Like they really fucking try. They don't just like fall apart and everyone dies immediately. Like they like try to survive and they fucking do not.
And it's like constantly night in there too, even though there are windows and it's been like days and days.
It like makes my psychosis go off. Like it makes me go ooh. Like So
I think the most interesting death in that is towards the end where it's like the girl and the main guy.
Yeah, two people left.
And she is like clearly dying and this like fog rolls through and she just like disappears.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck?
He's just like, yeah, that one like is a very good psychological horror, and I was not expecting that from a fucking Grave Encounters like Zach Baggins type.
Yeah,
and it does the found footage really well. So if you want to be freaked out, watch Grave Encounters. Like that's the one out of all of these. That's the one that like I was like fucked up by.
There's also a couple of funny bits in it. Like the opening is really funny.
Yeah, you think it's kind of gonna be silly. And
they really like lull you into a false sense of fucking security.
Yeah.
I love the bit in the beginning where they talk to a groundskeeper there. And they're like, have you seen any haunted activity here? And he's like, no. And then they, like, off screen, they hand him, like, $20, and he's like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a ghost over there.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah, that was great. But yeah, that one took me absolutely by surprise with what I did with it.
Yeah. So, in the similar vein to, like, it's kind of the same theme where it's about people who go in and, like, fuck around with ghosts.
To make content.
Deadstream takes it to a modern age.
Yeah, so this is a YouTuber like... Who would this be comparable to?
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He's like wannabe Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Where he's deeply controversial. He's been canceled over and over again. For doing horrible shit.
But he's also very like... He's got more of like a silly quality to him.
Yeah.
Like a more of a bumbling quality.
Yeah.
Anyway, he goes into a known haunted house with his like fucking streamer setup. He's got GoPros. He's got his
and
laptop.
They actually filmed it this way.
And he's got the chat that they wrote like all the chat for.
Yep.
Like the thing about this movie is like, I think it's like, you know, I guess it's like a low budget movie, but they put a labor of love into it. Like they put work in, like the people who made this like were passionate about this movie.
Yep.
And you can tell it's very interesting. It's funny.
They say that they're gonna put more of this documentary up on YouTube, but there's a short 15-minute thing on YouTube from the director or cinematographer or something on how they like filmed the movie and stuff.
Yeah.
And one thing is that they like bought this really shitty rundown house and like refurbished it enough that they could like go in there and like, you know, make it spooky. Shitty but safe.
Yeah. They also like build an entire UI. Like they like, you know, write the chat. They like design what is showing up as like the YouTube equivalent or the Twitch equivalent, really.
Yeah.
And that's insane. The acting it's definitely got some very funny like haha moments. It's got some jump scares. It's not like that scary at all.
No, I don't care about that.
Yeah, no, it's not really made to be. I started watching it with Riley, because I was like, I think this is entertaining. We didn't end up finishing it, but it's definitely got some like, it's just made well.
Yeah,
I will put this in find this footage. I think.
Yeah, I think it's low find this footage.
Yeah, it was like surprising to me. I think it was just because you can tell how much they cared.
Yeah, and like the thing is that the movie kind of loses me towards the end because it gets really into its own lore but doesn't explain its lore.
Yeah.
Or doesn't explain it well.
Yeah.
And like it
the like fucking fingernail up the nose.
I have no idea what the fuck was up with that. And like I'm gonna say it, spoilers, I don't like that he dies at the end.
Yeah.
Because he earned it.
He did, he tried really hard.
And then the movie's like, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like, which is just cheap bullshit. It's like when you don't know how to end a movie, you just jump scare kill your main character. That's what found footage does all the time.
Also, sounds like the kind of movie that would have a good ARG.
Totally would.
It would.
Can I write your ARG Deadstream too?
Okay, I am really excited about this.
As above, so below.
This movie is talked about as like the top tier found footage. Everyone says it's so good. I watched it like, I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago, and I was like, yeah, this is good. It's scary. We watched it. It sucks.
It's caves. It's caves. Just literally just go to YouTube, go to youtube.com, YouTube, and
but it's got Dante's Inferno.
Oh, poggers, amateur spelunking. Spellkunking. So this. So like
well, there's not even that much of that.
Not even. It's hallways.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, because it's not fucking caves. It's the fucking catacombs, and it was actually filmed in the French catacomb, the Paris catacombs, which is cool.
White people yearn for the caves. So true.
Fucking true. But it is so, the acting is
Terrible.
bad.
God awful.
The story is
terrible. Non-existent.
They like, yeah, it's like literally a Raiders of the Lost Ark situation where this like the female protagonist is like she's trying to get the like
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Raiders of the Lost
Tomb
Ark.
Raider?
No, well, it's kind of
Raiders
Tomb
of the
Raider.
Lost Ark is Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it was kind of Indiana Jones. It's kind of Indiana Jones.
What is she trying to get from the cave?
She's like Laura Croft, you're right, but also Indiana Jones. She's trying to get the fucking Sorcerer's Stone, the alchemist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't even remember because it's stupid.
It's stupid. Yeah. Oh, and she was the Philosopher's Stone the whole time. Don't you get it, idiot?
Yeah, so we were like deeply unimpressed by this movie.
Wow, we lost 2 viewers.
It's like not, yeah, it's not very.
It's bad.
It's not. I remember thinking it was like very scary. It's not scary.
No.
It's got some cool shots, like the car on fire.
Yeah, the car on fire. There are a couple of cool things that they do, where like, one thing that I love that it does is that they get like dragged in by their sins, dude, because it's like the 7 layers of hell or
but
9
they
layers.
don't explain what and also their sins are stupid.
I like that they don't explain what they did.
Okay,
like the guy who like sees the guy in the car on fire,
and then he gets like sucked into the car on fire, and then he's like just his little leggies are sticking up through
that was very funny.
The ground. Yeah, that was very daunting for her apparently. But
and that guy who got lost in the caves,
mm-hmm.
and she's like the one girl's like, you can say the mole in French. Le mole. Like, I saw that we left you. I saw that you died in the caves.
Now I want to know what it is. It's not Le mole. It's something.
Mole French.
Oh, le top. There he is.
There's my man.
Anyway, but like some of them are also like her sin, like the main character's sin that she's getting punished for is that her father like committed suicide and like called her like the night he was gonna die by suicide, and she like didn't answer. That's her sin.
Yeah.
And one other guy, when he was a kid, his little brother got like lost in a cave, and he like left him to go get help or something, and then his brother died. That's his sin.
Stupid.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
I don't understand why people are just constantly jerking off over this movie. Like, oh, as above, so below. The atmosphere, the story, the layers of hell.
They do come up upside down. That's kind of cool.
That is very cool.
So yeah, Dookie.
Dookie.
Holy Dookie, dude.
It is a fun title to say.
People like, if you go on YouTube, people rave about this movie, and
yep,
couldn't tell you why.
I think it's fake deep people.
Yeah.
I think they want to they want a film that they can get.
Yeah.
They want to hold up their copy of Dante's Inferno that it's like the No Fear Shakespeare Dante's Inferno essentially.
That would be what I would be reading.
Me too. I'm not reading fucking
whatever.
Dante.
Okay, we're gonna get there, Ash. To the non-horror found footage movies that we are into.
Yes.
Because there's a couple on this list that are not horror.
Yeah. But first, Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. The best Paranormal Activity.
So I've seen Paranormal Activity 1, not with Oak, which was fine.
I've seen all of them. A couple
parts of it freaked me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Slightly.
The part where she stands next to the bed for like 3 hours.
I fucking hated that.
Yeah, and then they repeat
that one also
shot
plays with
every Paranormal.
That one plays with my nighttime freaking, my nighttime paranoia a little bit. But yeah, so I watched that one, and then Oak was like, listen, you gotta watch the best one, which is what, 6?
5.
5.
5 of 6.
Activity 5. Please explain.
So Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, basically, so it takes place in the convoluted Paranormal Activity canon, but it only intersects with it at the very end. You could watch this movie and not watch any of the other Paranormal Activities and write off all the shit with Laura, Katie? I think her name is Kate. Write off all that shit at the end. Just be like, ooh, what could have happened? They'll never know.
It's
But
also
like,
Jerry Seinfeld right there.
what's the deal with found footage? Who is finding this footage?
So true.
Um, so like
it takes place in like an apartment complex.
Yeah.
And it's like a Mexican neighborhood and like a family. And they're all kind of like there's like a bunch of families and like friends and you know.
Basically this kid buys a camera from a pawn shop. And he and his friends just fuck around. Like there are live bits in the movie where they're just fucking around. Like there's a bit where one of them I think tries to do a skateboard stunt and like busts his ass. I'm like, this is the found footage. Like this is what teenage boys would be doing with a camera.
Yep.
I did that shit with a camera.
Yeah.
And then they slowly start like intersecting with the supernatural shit. And
we got Abuela who's like, fuck this.
Yeah, there's an Abuela who's like, fuck this shit in every Paranormal Activity.
Really?
Especially the ones with white people.
Well, as there should be.
It's a whole trope.
Someone's got to say something.
But the thing is that it's not like... It's so different from the other Paranormal Activities because it's not like, oh, it's security footage or whatever, or like, haha, we're making a movie, babe. Like it's just like some teenage dipshits.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Yeah.
I think that
it's entertaining.
It's well done. The acting is really good.
It is, yeah. They kind of seem like actual teenagers, which I think is rare. Maybe a little bit older, but also I do love that the ending it syncs up with the ending of the first Paranormal Activity. And like that was really cool.
Yeah.
Like in the first Paranormal Activity, at the end of the movie, you hear stuff happening downstairs. You don't see it. Like you hear stuff from the footage upstairs. Like you hear a scream, you hear like a clunk, whatever. At the end of Paranormal Activity 5, weird timey-wimey shit happens and the kid ends up there and you hear the same sounds and like you find out kind of what happened on screen, and that was cool to me. Like I really liked that.
I had completely forgotten about that by the time that we'd watched it. I forgot about it until now.
I just thought that was fucking cool.
No, it is cool.
I like when things like go intersect with each other again.
Yeah. To me, this is top tier.
Damn, alright. Yeah. I don't really it's been a while since we watched
find this footage then?
Yeah. It's been a while since I watched that one because this is before we were doing our found footage project.
I think we watched this with Claudia.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah.
The Taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah.
Great fucking movie.
Great movie.
Fantastic.
Also, Ash saying, I saw the one where all the cabinets open at the same time. So every horror movie. The Taking of Deborah Logan is about these student filmmakers who are doing a project on like Alzheimer's, basically.
Yeah, it's not even...
They're doing an exploitative project.
Basically. I think that... I forget why they're filming it. I think one of them is doing like a grad thesis on Alzheimer's or something. Yeah. I think she is like a nurse or something, or she's a med student.
Yeah, and they like lie to the people that
they do lie to them.
So they go to Deborah Logan, who's this older woman who's dealing with Alzheimer's, and her daughter, who's a lesbian.
Yep.
You love to see it, an alcoholic lesbian.
And they also they very subtly show the lesbian stuff before she outright talks about the time that her mother caught her kissing a girl.
Yeah.
And her partner.
Yeah. And basically, essentially, Deborah Logan is in fact possessed. You find out more about who and why and how, and so creepy shit begins happening with her.
So it's not just that she's possessed though. Like she does have Alzheimer's, and the fact that she is weakened lets a spirit in.
Yeah, but that she was also related to, she had some history with. Bye nerds. Yeah, so what to say about this film? The only thing I have to say about this film is the ending is incredible and the visuals are incredible, and I was gleefully enjoying. I don't find this movie very scary. I think some people would.
Yeah,
it definitely has its moments of being creepy. It is cool, yeah. That's a good movie.
I think that it is very nicely paced.
Yeah.
I think that it's interesting. I think that even though there is kind of a lore dump in the middle, it doesn't like hamper the movie.
Yeah.
I think that it deals with its subject matter very well.
You definitely like you feel empathy for the characters.
It is sad in some parts. And I also
it has a cheesy ending, but I don't hate it.
Honestly, I write off the ending. I'm like, nah.
It's like it's just a stereotypical horror movie ending. It's
I think
wait, is there still a demon though?
Yeah, I don't think that girl is possessed by the ghost. I think that she's just weird. I think that she's just a little strange.
Love to see it.
And like I also like that the three people who were filming the movie, one of them, like halfway through, is like, fuck this. This isn't worth the money. I'm going home. And he leaves. He's just gone. I'm like, based, to be honest.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking?
Like, I don't know. It's definitely up there.
To me, this is top tier.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to put nothing on the top tier.
Yeah.
Like, you know. I guess it depends on how you define spooky.
Yeah, I mean, spooky is just our name for like the top tier. Yeah. So, Hell House LLC.
Also one that is like very, everyone loves it.
Oh, dude, really it's so cool and scary.
Yeah. It's about a group of people that are putting on a haunted house.
Not a hell house. I must point out to these writers that a hell house is a very specific thing.
It is, and this is not that. Thank God.
A hell house is a Christian haunted house.
Yeah, it's like all abortions.
Yeah. They do one in the United
creepy
States.
Clowns.
Yeah.
You know.
That's it.
Basically creepy clowns.
The movie is really banking on the idea that you find clowns creepy.
Yeah. But yeah, so like apparently their entire business model is they're just like going somewhere outside of New York and like spending 6 months setting up a haunted house, like a haunted house for like the month of October and hoping they'll make their money back.
I guess they have up until this point.
This is what they've done before, but apparently not well. So like,
yeah, that weird.
You find out the reason they don't leave when shit starts getting weird is they're like, you don't have money.
That scene is so fucking stupid because like they cut away. One guy is like, dude, like, okay, I gotta tell you something that the other guy told me, like in confidence. You can't tell anyone though, and he like shuts off the camera. And the camera comes back on, and the other guy's like, wow, like, I guess I'll stay. And they never tell you in the movie what it is. I thought that one of the guys was, like, dying or something.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's just stick around for what will... It's his dying wish
for you to die in
this hell house.
So true, bestie.
But the director later was like, oh, he was saying that the thing was out of money. And I'm like, I would leave then. I'm not getting paid, obviously. This is a loss. Yeah. Just leave. Cut your losses.
Yeah, okay. I liked this movie more than Oak did, I will say, because the place it's shot is like an old motel essentially. Mm-hmm. And then they set it up to be like a haunted house with like creepy clowns. There is other shit, but like mostly creepy clowns and like but what's really interesting and I like about that is as they're like, you know, the idea is they're kind of making a documentary behind the scenes of them like creating this and like weird shit starts happening. Like suddenly there's a clown standing at the top of the stairs. They're like, who put is there some guy wearing the clown makeup? And he's like in rehearsal. Oh, he's being really creepy. Haha. Wait, he's gone. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not explaining that badly, but basically like weird shit starts happening. But it's like, you're constantly kind of scanning because there's kind of creepy shit all over the place already. So it kind of makes you like, look like as the viewer like, okay, what's actually happening, what's actually a creepy thing for real or just like versus a creepy thing for the production. And there is some like the moment in the bedroom where he like wakes up and there's someone in the bedroom that you see because he turns on the camera and you see there's someone in the bedroom with him. That freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah, that was
I like I don't like that.
There are like two other things that I like at the beginning and I guess towards the end where they show like phone camera footage from the event where a bunch of people die in the house.
But not that many.
No, not that many.
Pick it up.
No, it was like 10 people or something out of the like 200 in there
Yeah.
or whatever, and it was like one. They shouldn't have done it in this place in the first place.
Not
all
up to
the
fire
all
code.
the Hell House Society, yeah, that's not up to fire code. There was, it's not even just the fire code. Logistically, what are you doing? There is one narrow ass staircase in and out of
Yeah.
their like final scene basement, and you just have to like squeeze your way out. I
Yeah.
guess.
There's also this,
What are you
stupid.
doing?
And there's also this whole thing. Yeah, the lore is also dumb.
It's dumb.
Like the final scenes where the payoff should happen suck. It's
I forgot about all that bullshit for a minute.
yeah.
I still my fucking thoughts.
Good.
It's riling me up. Okay, so one thing that I did find very cool is that there's a shot where the guy goes into a room, he like turns around and then turns back around, and the room is completely different. Like it's the same room, but it's set up completely differently. It's like in the time period or whatever. Cool shot. It's obviously cut in some way, but it was very well done. I couldn't tell where the cut was. Okay, so the rest of the bullshit. At the beginning, the one girl who's
being interviewed. So
yeah, you go ahead.
No, I don't think I can explain it.
So this one girl who's the only alleged survivor of the from the actual crew. She's being interviewed by these people who are doing a documentary about the incident.
Right.
And
so they also have their footage, the footage that the film crew took.
Yeah.
But they haven't viewed it yet. So they're just getting the story from this girl.
So huge spoilers for this. I immediately called that this girl was dead. Yeah. And because she's
they telegraph it pretty obviously.
So obviously. At the beginning they're like, so like, how are you doing these days? And she's like, I'm in a better place now. And she's like, so are you, the interviewer's like, so are you staying around here? And she's like, I'm with family.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, her ass is dead. And lo and behold, towards the end of the movie, we find out that she's dead.
Yeah.
And she tells, I love you. She tells the interviewers, like, oh, if you have any more questions, I'm in room 2C.
And it's like very like, okay.
Yeah. And so
guess what? They go to the hotel they're like shooting the documentary in, or like doing the interview in, and there's no 2C. Do you know where the 2C is?
It's in the Hell House.
Back in the Hell House, yeah.
And so they go there and they open the door and they get attacked by some dudes in robes.
Yeah, the dudes in robes are
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, stupid.
So yeah, there's some very like poor choices. There's also this whole thing with the basement scene where like the idea is there's this like girl that's like a sacrifice and she's chained up. She's like an actress. And she's like chained up, and like the people, and there's like some creepy clowns sitting there. One of them is like the muscle, like he's working, and he's like her bodyguard essentially to make sure no one fucks with her. But hey, you didn't have to actually chain this girl up. That's very easy to fake. Like they literally chain her to the wall in her like fucking underwear, and it's like you literally you could have just there was no point to that, and that's like a whole part of the like ending. That made me mad.
It's stupid.
So anyway, they make a lot of stupid choices, especially when they're like, this shit is fucking haunted and bad stuff is constantly happening, but we're still gonna do that.
It is also my least favorite found footage trope of 90 minutes of stupid white people yelling at each other. It's Blair Witch, but better. Yeah.
So I found some parts of it interesting. I liked some parts of it. I would say I would put this at mid. I know you're gonna put this lower.
I honestly would put it at Dookie. Let's split the difference. Home movie quality.
Yeah.
Let's put it in middle.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I think if you're into this kind of genre, it's kind of like worth a watch just to see how they do it. But Oak does not agree. Okay, moving on.
Skip this shit. Terrible.
Some people really like it, but some people also really like Blair Witch.
You know, Ryan Hollinger is a big fan of its insane lore that it gains over the trilogy.
I love the Ryan Hollinger voice. Okay.
Thank you.
What even is this? Oh, Phoenix Forgotten. That was like the first one we watched. Yep. Yeah, I don't remember a lot of details. I just remember that we liked it. It's aliens. Great. Tell us about it.
It's fucking fantastic. Nobody's seen this goddamn movie.
Yeah.
It's shot very well.
Definitely better than Blair Witch Project. That's for damn sure.
It is. What if Blair Witch Project was good? So
and aliens.
And aliens. aliens. So this kid who's like he's a like an amateur film student essentially. He's a high schooler and like makes little films. He by chance captures footage of the Phoenix Lights, which is a like real UFO event in Phoenix in the 90s. Video?
Ooh.
Today marks.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it kind of looks like nothing.
In the 90s, that was a big
like,
deal.
This is just like lights hovering. So yeah, that's basically what it was. And the kid decides to investigate more, and he actually meets this girl, and she's like, I want to be your executive producer, which I know the feeling well. And the it's a mockumentary, and found footage. The mockumentary is done by the.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So yeah, these three kids. It's the filmmaker, the other girl, and
her boyfriend.
Not her boyfriend. It's like his friend, and there's like a love triangle.
Okay, great. Of course, there has to be.
Which like it doesn't
matter.
It doesn't matter.
But that's right. It starts out as like it's like these three teens went missing.
Yeah, they went. They never found their bodies,
and they're like doing interviews with like their teachers and their parents.
Yeah,
and like then they show the footage that they found of the found footage of their cameras.
This documentary is being done by that kid's younger sister, and it's like you can tell this is like a trauma thing that she is doing. I think it's like a big anniversary of it coming up, like a big number. And her parents like divorced over this, and like over the stress and stuff, and it's very clear that like nobody's lives who like were directly affected by this have been the same since. And in like a really tragic way. It fucking made me cry at like 2 different points.
I mean, I don't remember this one enough. I just know that I remember that we really liked it.
We should watch it again.
I know. I remember the like ending scenes of like when the aliens are there.
I'm not even gonna spoil it. It's so cool.
Yeah.
They eventually find like a missing tape of. They never explain where this tape came from, but I also kind of like that mystery.
Yeah.
Like the camcorder that they have just gets mailed to the school, like completely anonymously. It's been like fucking fried, but they managed to like get the tape open and play it. And the last like 20 minutes is that tape. It's cool.
Yeah. Good one. Good one for found footage.
Great movie.
Let's do the WNUF ones next.
Okay. So WNUF Halloween special.
Very no one knows about this. I only know about this because a friend was like, "Oh, have you ever watched? We watch these every Halloween." So it's called the WNUF Halloween special. It's essentially a recording of a news broadcast of like a Halloween special of like the local programming where these like really annoying reporter and then like a couple of like paranormal investigators and their cat go to a like haunted house, and it's very weird.
So
there's also a lot of commercials.
Yeah, they really commit to the bit that you are watching this.
Like a recorded
thing.
There's too many commercials.
One thing is that they will fast forward at certain parts. Like the movie will fast forward like through a cop's like safety thing on the news, and like through the second or third time that you see one specific commercial, which kind of makes that bit funny. You do see one commercial at least twice. None of the commercials are really funny.
Yeah.
They just like evoke.
They're like the local. Yeah, it's like the local like car sales person or whatever.
But here's the thing. I wouldn't mind it if it were like every 15 minutes even. I think that's too much still. If it were like every 30 minutes or something, they would hit you with like 3 ads. I would be beautiful. every 2 to 3 minutes
Yeah.
they show you like 2 to 3 ads. Literally half of this movie is ads.
Yeah.
And it honestly made me feel like I mean, it works. It makes me feel like I'm watching local news. It makes me feel like I'm watching the TV and being constantly bombarded with ads.
Yeah.
Hurt my throat.
So passionate. But yeah, like it's kind of interesting. I think you liked it more than me. I wouldn't watch it again. I don't think I was pretty bored.
I think that
parts of it were interesting.
If you are interested, try and find, I don't know if this exists, but try and find a copy that somebody has made where they have cut out all the ads. It's probably like 45 minutes long.
Yeah. So I don't know. I put this in home movie quality.
Yep.
It's also super low budget.
I like the low budget.
I mean, yeah.
It's better than
It's part of it. And then the sequel, I don't even remember the sequel.
I love the sequel.
What happened in the sequel?
The sequel is
it's the aliens again.
Yeah, it's the aliens.
Okay.
It's 10 years later. And
they make references to like what we saw in the first one.
Yeah, like the granddaughter of the paranormal investigators who went missing during there is like, I'm convinced that my grandparents were abducted by aliens. The ads in this one are way less. They give you like every 10 to 15 minutes, they'll give you some ads, and the ads are funnier. They're Halloween themed.
Yeah.
They're also like more personally resonant to me because they're like 90s ads
versus 80s.
Yeah. And the 80s ones, they don't evoke that much of an 80s feel. So much like WNUF Halloween Special, it has like a 30-minute opening act essentially, and then the last hour is the main event. This, instead of doing the local news, it does a like Jerry Springer, Ricky Lake style show.
I forgot about that.
It's so good, and they're doing like a Halloween special, but this is actually a like rerun from a couple of years ago, it turns out.
Right.
And the bits there are very funny. The last one that they do is this woman who is apparently cheating on her husband with a Civil War widow ghost. Like, my lesbian ghost lover.
I forgot about that.
It's so funny. And that's the other thing. They go harder into the humor in a good way. Like, they don't go hokey with it. But, like, I liked the dry humor from WNUF. But I think, what is it? It's called, like, Way Out There VHS Collection. What the fuck is this movie called? WNUF Halloween. Out There Halloween Mega Tape.
Yeah, in 2022.
Yeah, the conceit, they don't fast forward at all this time either. The conceit of this one is that you have bought a like essentially bootleg copy of this event from some guy, like some online store,
right?
Which is kind of what you did. This movie is like $30. Support the creator. He's a really nice guy, and he clearly is doing some cool stuff. I like his ideas. He actually commented on my Letterboxd review.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was like, "Thanks for your opinion on the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad you liked it." But so then the second half is like unsolved mysteries, basically,
right?
Where they're doing like a live special where they're talking about like aliens and things, alien activity in that area. And it's like every 20 years or something that an alien activity is spotted here, and it's very well done. Like throughout the broadcast, it's like, whoa, weird alien shit is cutting in. Spoilers and also trigger warning, cults and suicide. This actually fucked me up a little bit. Like,
it was kind of upsetting. In a low key way.
Yeah. So like they show this very Heaven's Gate cult.
Yeah.
And they're like, when the aliens come tonight, we're going to board their ship or whatever, and they're going to take us away. And
and
it's
the newscasters the people are playing into it. They're like, oh, really? Like, tell me more about that.
And like,
weird shit's happening with our broadcast.
Yeah, and like it's telegraphed. Like you can, if you know anything about cults, you can see this like a mile away, and that's, I think, kind of the joke in a way.
Yeah.
But like, they kind of go too hard
They go
on it.
too far, yeah.
Like they like take their poison and then it turns out it's a prank by the Unsolved Mysteries people.
Oops, awkward.
And they like die in
turtle.
agony on camera. It's kind of horrifying.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm like, I didn't like it. It was interesting at times, but it didn't really like keep me the whole way. I also found parts of it boring. I thought parts of it were interesting.
I think this one's a lot better to me. This is fine. This footage.
Oh my god.
I'm willing to put it in mid.
All right.
Ooh.
It's definitely like it's original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does some cool stuff. That's kind of the getting really serious at the end is something that WNUF does too.
Yeah.
Where like they get it's less like visceral, but like somebody gets their tongue cut out at like right at the end. It's not.
It's like
it
very.
Looks terrible, but like
on the scale of horror movies, it's very low key.
Yeah. This was upsetting in some ways that like it's campy.
Yeah.
Except for that.
Except for that. Yeah.
I also liked the very end where they're like. Also, I like that this movie doesn't have like opening or closing credits because it commits to the bit that hard.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the very end bit where they're like, we tore down this old Baptist church, and it turns out there's some bodies underneath. We're doing some investigating is going on, and it's like it's that little teaser for like, oh, it ties into the end of the last movie. I think that was cool. You get kind of a like what happened.
This is your kind of movie nerd shit to like these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing. I think that even when something doesn't go well, I like when people do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like when people go out there with shit.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what I admire about Deadstream too. Yeah, they get weird with it.
Yeah.
Like if you were going to watch one of these, watch the Out There Halloween special.
But we just spoiled completely.
I mean, there's still some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Be My Cat, a film for Anne, a movie V tapped out of.
A movie that we had a fight over.
We did have a fight over this film. I wasn't sure if you wanted to say it or not. Yeah, we did have a fight over this film.
Yeah.
So this is found footage in a style that I don't really like. Generally, I think that it tries to do some interesting things. I think the creator / lead actor is actually like a very, very nice guy. Mm-hmm. Like I see him in like YouTube comments and on Letterboxd and stuff, and even when people don't like the movie, he's like, "Thank you for taking a chance on this movie," and which I think is cool. I think he seems like a very nice and humble guy. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought your like voice was cracking for a second.
No,
I'm like,
no, no, I'm just curious. Yeah, what you're gonna say.
So this movie is about a guy who murders 2 women on camera, and in an attempt to impress Anne Hathaway.
A movie for Anne.
A movie for Anne.
Be My
This
Cat.
is for you. They never fully explain Be My Cat.
Yeah, and he's a fucking weirdo.
Yep.
You get it's not like in Creep he's like a weirdo in kind of a fun way. Like it's campy. He's campy weird. Like it definitely is unsettling, but it's also kind of like what the fuck. This guy's like I am like my like predator sensors are going off because I'm like, oh, you were unwell, and then he like hires like a woman, like an actress off like essentially Craigslist or whatever, like a casting call, who doesn't know what she's getting into, and it's too real. It was too real for me. It was like the held camera, the way that she was super uncomfortable, but also playing along with it because she wanted to get paid. I was like, I'm not okay with this. This is too much for me. So
then I watched the rest of it on my own. It was largely not worth it. I think the last 20 minutes of this movie are actually very good and very tense. Where like I'm just gonna spoil it because I don't care if you watch this or not. It's on YouTube for free, I think. Like I think officially, but so after he murders his first woman brutally, he hires 2 more women at the same time, and that gives an interesting dynamic. Mm-hmm. But he kills his first woman, There's a scene that I found like good in a horrifying way where like he somebody comes down like while he's killing her, and he's like, "Oh, we're filming a horror movie. I told like somebody around here earlier. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of screaming. She's very dedicated to the part.
Yeah.
We've got some special effects we're working on right now." And meanwhile she's like begging to be listened to, and it's
Hate it.
oh yeah, it's scary. That's I appreciate that more than the other times where it kind of went into that.
Yeah.
And then the last woman, she sees this other woman's like body and runs into the guy on her way out the door, and they have this really tense standoff for like 20 minutes where they talk about it, and she like gets in his head.
I do like that. I like that about Creep too.
Yeah. And she's successful though. Like she's like if you love Anne Hathaway, you should go to her. You should fly to America right now and go tell her you love her. And he's like, "You know what? I will." And he's like, "Okay, but like obviously I don't want to like get caught by the police. And if I let you go right now, you're just going to tell the police I'll never go get to see Anne." And she's like, "Okay, I'm going to go and hide in this closet. And once you leave, I'll give you like 15 minutes. And then after that, I will come out and everything's cool." And that works.
Damn.
The end of the movie is her like starting to close the closet door. He has the camera and he's like, do you have like any like last thoughts? And she's like, "Love," or something like that. And he's like, "Love," and it just ends, and it's like, it's a little bit comedic too.
Yeah.
But I love that she wins. Like she survives because she tries to get there.
Yeah.
Honestly, Be My Cat, a film for Anne, is like if Creep weren't funny.
Archer's interested.
Yeah. Hi, buddy.
He says, "I'll be your cat."
Be my cat.
You said if
Creep weren't funny.
Yeah.
If Creep went for it, you know, instead of being good. It's dookie, but like I respect it in a way.
Yeah. I say it's too triggering and real.
Yeah, no, I got triggered by some of it too.
Yeah.
Also it's boring. A lot of parts. The first like 40 minutes of the movie are fucking boring as shit. It's like this guy repeating himself over and over while harassing this woman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was another thing that was triggering. I was like, ugh.
Terrible.
Ugh. Yeah. Not give me the paranormal shit. I like a paranormal.
Yeah. I'm willing to go to the realistic stuff, but it definitely has to be a certain amount for me.
Yeah.
Like the graphic suicide, not for me. The graphic murders, not for me, really.
Yeah.
Not at least not posed in there.
A graphic murder by a ghost? We can talk about it.
We can talk about it.
But just by some fucking creep that's murdering women? No, thank you.
No.
I listened to too much true crime. It's not entertaining in that way.
True crime girly.
Oh god.
All right, Savage Land.
Drew slap. I don't know. Savage Land is a good movie. That's Curtis. All these fucking white boys on YouTube. I don't fucking know. Savage Land is a good movie.
Great movie.
It is very interestingly told. It uses photographs like that this person took during a essentially zombie overrun of a small town in Arizona.
Either Arizona or New Mexico.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they never say they're zombies because everyone's like deeply inhaling copium about this. But also like from the photos and stuff and their descriptions, it sounds like it could be like demons or something as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is very cool. to me.
Yeah, but the photography aspect of it, you see these still black and white photos that tell you the story of what happened, and it also shows you like a map of the town, and these people are like, these different people are telling you, they're doing talking heads about what they saw, right?
What, like, recreating the crime scene, and like some of the victims of this town got totally wiped out except for this one guy who was taking the pictures.
He's just running, taking pictures and running. Yeah.
And it's like the people, the victims' families and stuff, like attesting to them.
Yeah, and there's some very chilling shit in there. Like the ending shots are.
Yep. The last like 3 or 4 shots on the camera are terrifying.
Yeah. But a very interesting way to tell a story. The photography aspect of it was just very cool.
Yeah.
It also plays with like xenophobia.
Yeah, it's a movie about racism, about xenophobia, specifically against Latino people.
Yeah. And
because this guy gets arrested and gets the death penalty for this. He gets blamed for it as the only survivor.
Right.
So the single thing that I don't like about this movie is the ending. It's fine, but I'm not a fan of movies that are like, oh, and they're coming to get you next. It's so like cheesy 50s sci-fi.
Yeah. I don't even remember the ending. So there you go.
It's like the attacks are like spreading out across the US, and like people who believed whatever his name was. Yeah. He's become like a martyr essentially, but also like in this video footage, you can't get out of here without seeing some shaky cam.
Oh yeah. It's found footage.
Yeah. You see some like brief shots of like the guy who took the photos, like him as a zombie killing someone. And to me, I don't know. I think it's I kind of thought it was more scary as an isolated incident, and like the implication that maybe this could be leading to something, right? But the idea of like, we're in the zombie apocalypse now is silly to me.
See, I didn't remember that, but whatever. It's top tier.
Top tier.
It's top tier for sure. Both Phoenix Forgotten and Savage Land, very not well known films, and they're great.
Great movies.
Let's do Unfriended ones first, and then we'll end on Searching and Missing, because that's a different genre.
Tell me about Unfriended.
Unfriended is the best 2000s nostalgia, internet so weird, nostalgia. Yeah. It's like takes place entirely on Skype. You're like looking at someone's computer. Takes place like on someone's like screen. They're like talking to a group of friends on fucking Skype, and like they've realized like someone keeps dialing into their Skype call and they don't know who it is, and it's like essentially a hacker ? I'm gonna get this one and the second one confused.
So it's the 1-year anniversary of this bullied girl killing herself. Yeah. Less suicide. Scary topic. Taboo.
And this group of friends that sort of like was adjacent friends, sort of friends with her, but like also bullying her. Yeah. One of them was like her friend. But yeah. They are basically you're seeing one of them like start to get haunted by this girl via Facebook Messenger of all things, and also Skype, and it is very well done. This has like bad reviews. It was like incredibly well done for what it is.
I really like this.
I thought it was really good. It's entertaining. It's like both these and we haven't watched it. We need to watch Host still. That's the one on Zoom that they filmed during the pandemic. It plays with that genre, just like Searching and Missing do as well, very well. So I thought that was like, I would put this in Find This Footage.
Honestly, yeah. It's better than Deadstream, better than Creep 2, worse than Paranormal Activity, the marked ones.
Yeah. Then the sequel, less good.
Pretty bad.
Definitely a lot less good. It's too much. The first one was a lot more like, it was paranormal, low budget, some very entertaining like payoffs of like the deaths in it. Yep. They're quick, but you're like LOL. Yeah. That's good shit. The second one is like essentially this group of people that like this guy gets a fucking laptop.
Mm-hmm.
He finds it. He gets all our Craigslist. He actually just finds it, and it's essentially like a phishing scam of like a worldwide cult.
The dark web.
Yeah, it's the dark web. And so like they come after him, his whole friends group. That like it's
stupid in a lot of ways. I like a lot of parts of this movie. I think that
I wouldn't watch it again.
Oh no, God, no. I think that the ending is cool in a way. I like that they pull back and they have like a Twitch chat essentially that's like poggers, nice job, man.
Yeah, the dark
they're
web
literally like
Twitch chat.
GGWP.
Yeah.
And this is just something that they do sometimes. It's called game night.
Yeah.
Which is a callback to these friends who are playing Cards Against Humanity, which I don't think anyone did in like 2018.
Yeah.
They are having a game night, but their game night is intercepted by this game night. And I also know that you don't like it as much because it goes too real with it.
Yeah, but like in a stupid way.
In a stupid way, yeah. And the thing is that these aren't supernatural, like, entities, but they might as well be.
Yeah.
They just like teleport in at some points.
Yeah.
I think the idea is supposed to be that they're like they have something that makes them not recorded.
Yeah, not recordable.
Which is then why are they sometimes slightly recorded? It's just stupid.
Yeah.
And
so what, home movie, Dookie?
The lowest home movie.
Yeah.
But also like the ending is stupid in some ways because like at one point the main guy he transfers he finds this wallet with $10 million worth of Bitcoin in it, and he transfers it out to himself, and he's like, "This is insurance. Don't kill my girlfriend, and you get this money back." And we never see the password he made for this wallet.
Right.
And the thing is that they're watching him like on his screen.
Right.
And so we don't see that. He's dead.
So presumably they just lost.
All that $10 million of Bitcoin.
But whatever, the dark web, they have infinite money.
And they're also like the whole thing is like, oh, dude, they planned it because they're framing us for these murders. All that does is link all of these like kidnappings and murders together.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
It's very stupid. It's very much like, ooh, the internet's back.
Yeah, like I mean, we should have seen it coming. They titled it the fucking dark web.
Yeah. That's the title, the fucking dark web. Unfriended the fucking dark web. God. All right, final 2 shout out if you're still here, with our deeply like masturbatory film review here. Okay, Searching and Missing. Great films. Yes. I watched both of them again after we watched them. Yes, absolutely, 1000%.
I think in that order too. Also,
yes. Yeah. Put Missing up too. Not as high. Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Nice.
Okay, so these are not horror. These are drama.
Thriller.
They're thriller. First one is starring John Cho. They both have the same conceit, which is similar to Unfriended, where you're like basically watching someone's computer screen, various computer screens.
Yeah, this one is less committed to the realism though. Where like in Unfriended, when the girl's mic was muted, you couldn't even hear her. That was the thing about Unfriended, where the ending just completely breaks that. But I'm still willing to give it.
A lot of these have bad endings. People don't know how to end horror movies. Like, remember Creep with the jump scare?
God, that's so terrible. Why did they do that? Creep for no reason. Like before it's like good ending has a bit where the guy is just like boo, essentially. And it's like you had the good ending where he goes over to his cabinet and puts the VHS in and you see all these other VHSs labeled with names. And it's like, that's cool and that's fucked up. Why did you have to go boo?
Yeah, anyway, so Searching, starring John Cho, when did it come out? Like 2018?
18, yeah.
But it's an older internet also. It's also nostalgic. It's
Yeah.
like a, I don't know, like a 2010s, I guess, early 2010s, 2000s,
Mid 2010s.
Okay,
It's not the 2000s.
Okay, it just felt older. But yeah, you're seeing him. Basically, his daughter goes missing, and so you see his like text conversation. You see him like FaceTiming her. One of the most unrealistic things about these movies is the people just leave their FaceTime open so that like your face is just on screen, like as if we were like streaming, but it's like, you don't keep your FaceTime, but it's so that we as the viewer can see their like face and reaction.
And that's what I meant by the realism, where like Unfriended won't do that. Like if the mic is muted, if the camera is off, you only get the screen.
Yeah.
Whereas Searching, they will like go out of their way to give you like somebody talking a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think they do it in a way that like is pretty realistic.
I do agree. I think that it's just a couple of times where it's like he just like has his FaceTime open and he's talking to himself.
Yeah, true.
It happens more in Missing.
But yeah, both of them, they have to essentially solve the mystery of a missing family member using technology, and like they have to like be really creative with it. Missing much more creative with it, I think. Searching keeps it more basic. Like he realizes his daughter's missing. He realizes he can like go into her laptop. So you see like him logging into her MacBook, and then you see him like literally like going like this, and like you see like the tab opening, and you see like what they type in, and it like kind of zooms in on it. You see like he'll be like someone will be like face. And then like
don't open Facebook.
Anyway, you'll see them like do that, and you'll like follow their thought patterns. So even though it's not like narrated, it's not like they're not explaining what they're doing. You're like, as a person on the internet, you're like, I understand what they're doing here to get like trying to figure out someone's password, trying to figure out like you see them like log into the email account, like trying to like at one point in Missing, because we're just kind of lumping these together because they have the same conceit. Basically, they're made by the same person. At one point, she has to like click on the like are you a robot with
the captcha,
like a captcha with images, and it's like click the one that doesn't have the bus in it or that has a bus in it, and one of them is like a bumper of a bus, and she unclicks it and then clicks it again.
She like hovers and there's like a pause and then she clicks.
And you're like, yeah, I've done that.
She like that.
But yeah, like so the John Cho one is really fun because he's like this dad that's having to like understand his daughter's internet activity. He goes to her Tumblr at one point. She has like an aesthetic blog.
They didn't make the Tumblr though.
What else? He like finds like she did like Twitch streams.
Closer to like Ustream.
Yeah, Ustream. Like he goes and like watches her streams to like get more information. He like doesn't know that much about her, and so he's like finding things out about her.
They were kind of estranged since her mother died.
And he's working with this like deputy played by Deborah Mussing from Will and Grace, who's like investigating the case with him, and like you see their FaceTimes and him talking to her and like sending emails to people, and like it's just fascinating. Like the way they do it is such an engaging story, and I like the ending. It's got a good ending.
It's a good movie.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think less so with Missing, but with Searching, and also with Run, which isn't found footage, but it's a nice thriller. I like that one a lot too.
We can talk about that briefly because it's by the same person.
Also features an actually disabled actress in a disabled character role.
Yeah.
But this director, I always feel like he has me exactly where he wants me. Like I am realizing things at the exact same point a character is realizing it, but not in like a bullshit like Columbo way where it's like one more thing, or like not Columbo, like the ones where they like hold off on a clue,
right?
Like so you can't solve the mystery,
right?
Right. It feels like, oh, I could have made this leap of logic maybe, but this like puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
Or like this new information comes out, and it's like, oh, this must mean this, and then the character immediately like thinks that.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's really good. It just uses technology in a really interesting way. Missing, which came out in 2022, I think.
Yeah, it was very recent.
Year?
No, I think it was 2022.
That one is a Gen Z. She's some actress.
Right.
She's some actress like people know who she is. I
Yeah.
forget who she is. She's in The Last of Us, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I keep thinking she's Zendaya
she's
for a
not
second.
Zendaya.
I know she's not Zendaya, but for like at a distance, like if you squint.
Yeah. So it's the same thing, but instead of a like I guess elder millennial, is he Gen X? I don't know.
I think he's like late Gen X.
Early Gen X?
I think he's supposed to be like 40, so he was born in like the late 70s.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, from like this dad perspective where he like doesn't really know how to use the internet and he's like figuring things out, versus Gen Z, who she's like 10 steps ahead at all times. She's like doing things lightning fast. She's like using lateral thinking constantly. Like at one point she needs somebody on the ground in Colombia, and she like had used TaskRabbit earlier in the movie to do a task for her, and she's like, she Googles TaskRabbit Colombia, which doesn't exist, but she finds something that's like it. So she's able to hire someone who becomes like a character in the film.
Yeah, he's cool.
That was really cool. And the ending of Missing, it loses me a little bit.
Yeah.
It goes a little bit too action movie.
Yeah. I do like I do like the transition to the denouement. You know, the falling action here, where like they basically cut off the end of the final showdown or whatever, and they show it on like the Netflix recreation show.
Yes,
so all of a sudden it's like
really
two
good.
completely different actors in like a completely different shooting format.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we got you, baby. You're gonna be okay. And because they opened the film that way too, but they opened it with like the retelling of Searching.
Yeah, on like a Netflix like true crime show essentially.
And so it ties back in. I thought that was very funny and very clever.
Very, very clever. Yeah. So I mean, definitely, I think both of those are well worth a watch.
100%.
I watched both of them again with different people in like a quick succession after we watched them, because I was like, I need to see it again. Also, I really like Searching. We were pretty able to predict a lot of it. We predicted a lot of what happened in it. A lot of these we predicted a lot of what happened in them.
Mm-hmm.
Missing takes you on some turns. Do you remember that?
I felt I could predict Missing more.
Okay, I don't know, because when we were watching it, there was like a moment where you're like, oh, that was a red herring, and then you're like, oh, that wasn't the red herring. Like,
yeah,
that surprised me, like that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it does a little bit of interesting stuff, and like who it is behind all this, we didn't know that.
Yeah, I did think that was interesting.
Yeah,
and how it like reframes the opening. I do enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, so I like that about it. It kept me guessing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way about both of them. Like, that's kind of what I meant when I felt like the director has me exactly where he wants me at all times.
So speaking of, just to touch on Run really quick, there was a movie between the two of these. It's not found footage, but it's by the same director. Are they all by the same director?
Yeah.
But one of them had a different writer.
Missing has a different writer.
Okay. But yeah, so Run is essentially the story of this like disabled girl, like teenager, and she's like homeschooled, and it's basically like you find out it's like a Munchausen by proxy situation where like her mom is not on the up and up, and she ends up having to kind of like think laterally to get out of situations. It's intense.
It's interesting because like they don't drag out you finding out that the mother is like abusive, but also like keeping her more disabled than she actually is, essentially. But they take you on a journey after that. It kind of becomes Misery. Yeah. Like the Stephen King book, which I thought was very cool. There is a scene there that is very, very reminiscent of a scene in Misery. And like there were some twists that got me in there, but like they make perfect sense afterwards.
And the thing about all these by this director is they all have like the ending is a payoff that you want. Yeah, like a lot of them like will end, you know, something tragic will happen or whatever, like, you know, you find out some horrible thing. All these kind of are like, fuck yeah, like they end in like a fuck yeah kind of way. Yeah. Which I like. That's a subversion. For horror.
Nobody pops out and goes boo. I'm fine. Yeah. They don't kill the main character for no reason. Yeah. I'm looking at you, Deadstream.
Oh my god, we did it.
Good time.
So we still have more on our list that we haven't watched. We were gonna watch Gonjiam.
Yeah.
It's Korean, like a haunted asylum Korean movie. We didn't end up watching that tonight. But I've heard that's really good, so I'm definitely interested in that. And there's a couple more. I've seen the Zoom horror Host.
I haven't seen that one.
Which they filmed entirely during the pandemic. So like the actors are literally on Zoom and they're like doing a lot of their own special effects and stunts essentially by themselves in their apartment. And they do a really good job. So that one's good. I would put that in a find this footage tier.
Is Willow Creek one? Or is that...
I think
Willow Creek is the Bigfoot one. Made by Bobcat Goldthwait.
I have no idea who that is.
He's either Pain or Panic in Hercules.
Okay.
He has a very distinct voice. You would know him if you heard him. Okay. Yeah, we have on our list Willow Creek, Host, Afflicted.
Your list looks different than my list. Mine's more organized.
Incantation, I think. And maybe One Cut of the Dead. I don't know.
No, that's not it. Oh, One Cut of the Dead. We should watch that. That is actually it's meta as fuck.
Nice.
Yeah. Mine is yours not divided by category?
No.
Like mine is? Oh my god. Yeah, so check this out. This is our horror drama category. Nice. One Cut of the Dead, really good. Incantation, Gonjiam, Willow Creek, Host, and Afflicted are our remaining ones that we have. If anyone has any to suggest. Which one do you love? One Cut of the Dead? It's good. I have a friend who's a film nerd showed it to me, and it's layers. Like you get zoomed out, yeah. And
you like layers,
but it is in I forget what a different language, and those movies are hard for us.
Yeah,
to pay attention to.
I like to knit while doing movies.
I need English and English captions in order to understand a movie. Yeah. So
I'm willing to like sit and watch a movie with captions. I'm not like that sort of person where I'm like, oh, it's not in English or whatever. Not to like disparage you because I know that you and I are both having this issue right now where we want to watch this, but we're like, I don't know if I can pay attention to that.
Yeah,
right now.
basically.
Where it's not like it's not extra, a taste thing.
It involves just extra brain power.
Yeah, but like I need to like specifically sit down and do it.
Yeah.
Like this needs to be the thing I'm doing. It really needs to hold my attention.
Yeah, make us big.
So yeah, you can tell we're real suckers for found footage. It's most of these are in the top 2.
Found footage is just such an interesting way to do horror.
People like deride it so much. Like people shit on found footage all the time. They're like, oh, it's so boring. It's all the same movie. No, people do weird shit with it, and it's great. Mm-hmm. Just stop watching Paranormal Activity unless it's the marked one.
Also, we haven't watched this Cloverfield.
Yeah, true.
Well, maybe we'll get around to it. I've seen it. It's fine. It's not high on my list, but we don't have many monster movies on here, so
yeah.
Well, if any. I mean, I guess Savage Land, but like. I don't know.
What from this list? What is your one non-searching, non-missing pick that you would recommend?
Okay. For like a good time, if you want to be scared of Grave Encounters, like if you're into psychological dread and like a well-made movie, I don't know. I mean, it's been a long time since we watched Phoenix Forgotten. That was one of the first ones, but it was like entertaining and like in a very like found footage, both mockumentary and found footage way.
Yeah.
Unfriended also, honestly.
I kind of recommend Unfriended.
Unfriended is like I definitely really enjoy the playing with internet and applications sort of.
Like they use the buffering pixelation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They use that for scares.
Yeah.
And like for tension and shit. It's really cool.
Hey, nice ring.
Hey, yeah. Well, nice ring yourself.
Yeah, they use it for scares in a very like fun way that you're like, yeah, I use Skype like that.
Yeah, that's Skype.
Oh fuck.
I think
What about you?
my
Yeah.
pick. I think Phoenix Forgotten specifically. One, because it's so good, and two, because not many people have seen it. Like,
Mm-hmm. So
unfortunately,
you can
this.
feel superior.
Yeah, you can feel superior. You can have the film student experience. Um, I think other than that, Savage Land.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you want an interesting time and a not so serious time, do Creep and Creep 2 as a double feature.
Mm-hmm.
They're each 80 minutes long, so it's 160. It's like slightly over 2 hours.
Yeah, if you're into like kind of a more psychological uh study of a
Yeah,
person, of a serial killer who's but like not a usual serial
yeah.
killer. Like he's a goofy weirdo that's also scary
Yeah.
sometimes, but I'm like, I could take him.
See, the thing is, like, I would really only recommend Creep 2, but you gotta watch Creep first.
Yeah.
You just do. It's going to give you so much more context.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I think one of my favorite moments in Creep 2 is, Sarah, while interviewing him, they're, like, playing pool together, and she's
Very
like,
casual.
yeah, she's like, do you ever feel, like, bad for your victims? And he's like, sometimes a little. Like, he says it exactly like that. And he's like, but I do try and give them, like, every chance they can
Right.
to like, leave. Like, in the advertisement, I say, do you like, if you, like, Interview with the Vampire, to let them know that it's, like, dangerous.
Right.
And it's
Which
so
you're
funny.
like-
It's like, it lampshades the whole first movie, where
Right.
this guy is very obviously, like, going into a dangerous situation. He even makes fun of that guy specifically, where he's like, I literally had an axe outside of my house, and he still went in. He
Right.
still did this.
Which, like, the interview with the vampire and having an axe outside your house, those are things that you're like, okay, you're
Yeah.
a serial killer, so like you're thinking that people would notice that when they probably wouldn't. But he does way more creepy shit that like
yeah,
like a billion times during watching the first Creep, I was like, I am gone.
Yeah.
Like I am walking home in the woods at night. I'm walking to the highway. Like
$1,000 isn't worth this.
no,
You gotta pay me at least 10.
it's a part of toward the beginning of the very first movie. He like goes and like gets in a bath, and it's very creepy and weird. And I'm like,
Tubby time.
white men just really think they can. They're like, yeah, I guess this is fine.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they really make you like kind of like the guy in the second movie. You don't actually know his real name.
Right, yeah.
Which
He goes by
which is creepy
different names,
to
yeah.
me. It's like
Yeah.
it's so anonymous. You'll never see this guy again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but he's fascinating because he's not just like, he's a creepy, spooky serial killer. It's like he's like kind of he's got like a dad humor.
Yeah.
He's got like internet humor kind of.
Yeah. First movie, this guy, I wouldn't hang out with him. I would run from him. Second movie, this guy, I would
He's a
have
little
lunch
hotter.
with him.
He's a little hotter in that movie.
He hangs dong in that movie.
I forgot about that.
He very much does. Ooh.
They're peeing in this
There
movie?
is peeing in this movie. No full frontal though.
No full frontal.
I guess in character, the guy's preserving her dignity or whatever.
You know, I respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Based. What a Chad.
I just wish that she like. There's definitely times where in Creep 2, this woman who's like this YouTuber or whatever is like getting into his head. Like he's getting like unsettled by her, and I'm like, yes, more of that. That was so good because it really
That's
like
the best part
flips
of it.
everything.
You love to see a serial killer be like, "You're weird."
Yeah, be like, okay, what the fuck?
I think she jump scares him at one point.
Yeah, which is why I get mad at the ending because it's sort of
Yeah.
like she is suddenly blindsided that he's a fucking serial. It's like
It really felt like they had it almost feels like they had two endings in mind,
yeah,
and they decided to go with the ending where she doesn't become a serial killer. maybe the
Yeah.
whole time they were like, she wouldn't really do this if it came down to it. But to me, it kind of felt like she might. Or at least she might, like, kill him for the experience. Because, like, her whole YouTube channel is, like, she finds people's Craigslist ads and she like does the thing that they want her to do. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I want to be like mothered by you
Like,
while
held
I'm
like
dressed
a
like a baby.
baby.
Yeah.
And she does. And she's
yeah.
like totally fine. Like, and that's the thing. She's like, she's got balls of steel. She's like, yeah, okay. Like, she's committing to the bit fully.
9 subscribers. This is the stuff she's doing.
So, like, I'm like, girl, like, you crazy too. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
She is a creep.
She's also a creep.
Creep too.
So, like, yeah. There's some fascinating scenes in the movie with them when he's in the hot tub.
It's his monologue is really good.
Yeah.
Like, Sarah loves her juicy fruit. Aaron loves to kill. And
I
like,
remember that.
The thing is, he delivers everything with such sincerity.
Yeah.
It never feels ironic with him. It feels like he's a real person saying this and like kind of spilling his guts.
Yeah. And he's just living in his own reality.
Yep.
Damn.
Cool movie.
Cool movie.
Wish
As up so below though.
I love the caves. Oh, do you know about Dante? Have you played Dante's Inferno?
Give us the
Devil May Cry.
Not CinemaSins. What's the other guy? The one you keep quoting.
Oh, Ryan Hollinger.
Yeah, give me the Ryan Hollinger of your top one of these.
For like my favorite one.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about a little-known film called Phoenix Forgotten. Hang on, I gotta get the character names up. I gotta get into character here too. Where are the character names? Josh? Yeah, we gotta say the character names at any point? Okay. Sophie, Mark, and Josh? That sounds right? Yeah. The film is about 3 teenagers who went missing 20 years ago. Sophie, Mark, and Josh, who went missing in the Arizona desert after seeing the Phoenix lights and wanting to go inspect them. The thing about Ryan Hollinger is that when you do an impression of him, you have to go up and then you go back down.
Literally? Literally, though. Oh, fuck.
I think he has his poor taste in horror movies, to be completely honest.
You definitely got a little lost on the accent there.
What are you trying to say about me, V? I think that your opinion of this is mistaken.
You stick with the Liverpool.
It's me, Ringo. Today we're going to be talking about a movie. I can't do the like lilting with Liverpool. Liverpool I do flat.
You can't now, you gotta practice. Clearly.
We're not subscribers. You do
Honestly, there's something there.
You do sing-songy for Liverpool, but you don't do lilting for Liverpool. That's the Irish.
Yeah. Northern Irish specifically.
Is he Northern Irish?
The accent sounds northern to me.
Yeah.
Gonna dox this guy.
He lives at
Northern Irish YouTuber, what's up?
What do you know?
They have that specific, I think it's the lilt combined with the like chopped consonants. That's how I think of it.
I'm Ryan Hollinger, and today we're going to be talking. No, I can't. I'm not gonna finish that joke. That joke is too fucked up.
Okay, off screen. Off stream there. So yeah, let us know what we should do for our next tier list, because we have to go 6 months without seeing each other essentially, and we have to do something. So
we love doing it.
So this last time was found footage. Next time, our reactor film.
Oh yeah, all 10 of them now. I mean, we only have one more to watch. And it's fucking 3.5 hours long. Who would make something 3.5 hours long? White men.
Losers. Too into their own voice and Liverpool impressions.
If Ari Aster did more Liverpool impressions, I think his movies would be better.
I think you're right. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think about that. We've talked about the Big Lebowski creator guy.
Oh, Coen Brothers.
Coen Brothers. We could do that. So
we could do we could do like combined with
the other one we did.
Yeah. Charlie Kaufman.
Yeah. That would be like my senior year film studies class.
We could do a tier list of the film the film class movies I had to watch.
Yeah.
City Lights, Singing in the Rain.
Oh no, some of those are so boring.
Yeah. Hero. Oh, the one that you didn't watch that was just misery porn. We should end this stream.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching.
Thanks for hanging out.
This was fun.
Yeah.
Beatles
movie coming out soon.
Yep, Beatles video coming out by the 31st. That is my absolute promise to you. I think more likely it's gonna be like
the problem is we have like fucking holidays on the weekends. You know?
I think either the 21st or Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve Beatles movie stream.
Yeah.
Some people might be eager to.
Yeah, I always figured that some people are like want an escape from their family anyway.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It's a good video.
It's a good video.
I'm proud of it.
I am too. Okay, let's go.
All right, see you guys.
Bye.
Bye.